Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk. The NFL franchise tag deadline was 2 minutes ago, and multiple sources are saying that the Tennessee Titans did not franchise tag Harold Landry. Now, there were a number of players that were franchise tagged. We'll have that a little bit later for you on 3HL. But the major news happened in Denver, and that is that the Denver Broncos have traded for Russell Wilson. And they are getting him from the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle, in return, will be getting quarterback Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant, defensive lineman Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th round. And just because Seattle's nice, they're sending a 4th-round pick with Russell Wilson. For all your foundation repair waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air, 104.5 The Zone. Thanks for being with us. We've got a very active day. There is no question about that.
Woo!
I tell you all the time, the NFL finds ways to dominate the calendar. March Madness, like, hey, man, here we go. I got your buzzer beaters. I got your at-large. I got your mid-major. I got the tournament. NFL's like, hold my beer.
I'll be right with you.
I got a traded Russ. I got an Aaron Rodgers stand.
No. Well, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, meaning yes.
No, meaning yeah. I was going to say the best part was, oh, gosh, this is huge, Aaron Rodgers. And then it's like, oh, wait, hold on. Let's overshadow that a little bit. Russell Wilson, blockbuster deal.
Breaking news.
Somebody immediately texted me on the Aaron Rodgers thing and said, which I texted y'all, said, boy, that's going to be a commute from Nashville to Green Bay.
It is. Because
also, Harold Landry not franchised. We'll get into that. Obviously, that's the big local story. They are reportedly, as Rhett Gordy B., Titans Radio executive producer, told us before this news came out that he felt like they were working on a deal. So good job there,
Which
Rhett,
makes sense.
because you can control the number in year one.
Correct. And you know where the
Right.
Titans are from a salary cap standpoint as well.
We told y'all yesterday Aaron Rodgers is going to stay in Green Bay.
yes, we did.
We actually, I want to say that we actually said that like 2
We've said
months
it
ago.
the whole time. basically,
Even when
yeah.
buying land in
More
Right.
definitively
in
yesterday.
Brentwood or
Yeah.
Nashville, like something.
That's right. That's right.
That's
the
right.
original-
That he's correct.
The original story was that he bought land in Franklin,
That's what it was.
which is not right.
Nope.
He bought a lot in Brentwood to
A lot.
build a house.
Right. Correct.
And what was his fiance's name?
Melinda.
Shailene Woodley.
Woodley. Woodley.
Wood something.
Woodley.
She
It's Woodley.
eats like bark.
Woodley, because we
Yes.
heard that's the
Oh.
name of the house.
That's right.
Woodley.
I wonder if the name of the house has since changed.
But we also told you that story, like the whole buying a lot in the house, like they did that a long time ago. So that had nothing to do with him playing for the Titans at all. Like if he ended up playing for the Titans, it had nothing to do with that house. But anyway, so he's going back to Green Bay. We'll spend some
Everybody
time
wants
on
to be
that.
in Nashville
Yeah, that's true.
because it's the best place ever.
That's right.
Besides Auburn, but yeah.
You're saying that Auburn, Alabama is better than Nashville, Tennessee? Let me just go ahead and
I mean,
paint,
it's just
paint you
different.
in that corner.
It's just different.
Well, I mean, to Bell's
Is there
point,
stuff
they
to
do got
do in Auburn?
they got a boom boom room down there, so you can't go too wrong.
They do have a boom boom room in Auburn now. I know they do in
You told
Alabama.
me.
No, Tuscaloosa.
Okay. No,
How
don't
you
go to
gonna
that
get
one.
Tuscaloosa and Auburn mixed up?
Hey, when the
Mr. Boom
when
Boom
when
Room.
when the residual checks come in for the boom boom room, I don't really look at where
I
they come
blame
from.
any mistakes from Slay today on Sister Jean's presence.
Yep.
That's what I blame.
Yeah, he went after Sister Jean.
Yeah, you're going to have, I'm telling you, if you just mildly enjoy the show, just on a baseline level, you need to hear that rant. That's like the greatest rant ever. Ron Slay going after Sister Jean. And you can listen to
And
the
I stand by it.
podcast.
I stand by.
We have had Tennessee fans call in since that rant and ask Slay to repent so that God does not hurt Tennessee in the NCAA tournament.
And you know what I tell them Tennessee fans? Grow up. We're going to fight.
You went after a 102-year-old sister.
Hey, man.
None.
Hey. Ain't nothing off limits when you harm a Vol nation. And she harmed the entire nation of the Vols. I'm telling you. I stand by it, but go ahead.
I have a nun story. I've told this a couple times on the air. I get irritated sometimes in traffic when people aren't, driving
the right way?
Yeah, like that they don't have a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
That they're just kind of rolling out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm behind this car on Belmont.
Sorry. It's March Madness. I have my ringtone ready. Sorry, I should have put it on silent.
I love it when that happens because she gets after me for it.
All the time.
So I'm going down Belmont. You can't pass anybody on Belmont. So we get all the way down to almost Wedgwood. Like, yeah, you're on Wedgwood. And then it's 2 lanes. So I go flying around that car, and I give them a look, and it was 4 nuns.
Ain't you going to St. Cecilia?
You got a nun story, Dawn?
No, I sure don't. Sorry. Hate to
you
disappoint.
Stay away from it, huh?
Stay away.
No, only nuns I know are in Sister Act. That's the only ones I know.
Did you get anointed yesterday when you went home?
Listen, man. That part right there, I'm working on that. I got Brianna's Mitchell.
I love how you just randomly call people out.
You know
who I went to high school with.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I need you to get to me, Pastor. They said I need a saving. I need the oil upon me. I'm going to start talking in that like LaRon. Here we go. Let's go.
Let's go.
From London.
All SEC teams are out, too. We'll hit on that.
I got my own team. I got a bone to pick with that. But go ahead.
Slay's got his own team.
That's right.
The Slay, the all-Slay team.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Allan Bell at 420. And Georgia State basketball coach Rob Lanier. Georgia State punched their ticket last night. They won by 9. They finished 3rd in the Sun Belt, but was able to get it done in the conference tournament. Played really well. He was a lead assistant for Rick Barnes at Tennessee for a while.
Yep.
Was at Siena back in the day.
Yep.
So we'll talk with him at 5 o'clock. All that to say, Harold Landry, obviously the big news. You want in. They're not going to franchise tag him, reportedly working on a deal. 615-737-1045. There is Dawn Davenport.
Hi.
I need to introduce her. If you're watching on Zone TV, Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
You can watch the show on any of those mediums. You will notice that Dawn Davenport has a fresh haircut.
I got my hair did today.
Which Slay and I both noticed.
Yes, we did.
Yep. And Slay said, I'm usually really careful about saying
Slay
anything.
never wants to say anything.
He never wants to get, he's very safe.
Ain't no need pointing stuff out.
Don't want to get himself in trouble.
I'm cool.
Because you'd be like, hey, did you get a haircut?
You look wonderful every day.
Yeah.
Even on the days you think you don't.
And there he is.
Brent's like 2 for 2 on notes.
He is.
Yeah.
Ron Slay in the room.
Hey, I'm in the building. Best believe I'm in the building. Better be ready. I'm in the building. Calling out the rules. Time for the show. Let's go, baby. Yep. Let's go. Landry, we looking for you. I got some papers I need you to sign as a fan. Does anybody from the Titans have any papers for him? That's a good question by me. Thank you, Slay.
It's 3:10. Deadline has passed.
It's over for franchise tag.
Over, Rover. Do you want the franchise tag?
Yeah.
People?
And I play tag
Well,
with everybody.
it is not Harold Landry.
Nope, Harold
He's a
Landry,
good
not
hider.
Tag. Mike, and it's a bunch of tight ends. Mike Gesicki with the Dolphins. Dawson Schultz with the Cowboys, tight end. Tight end David Njoku with the Browns. Wide receiver Devontae Adams with the Packers. So they get Aaron Rodgers back, which we'll talk more about in a minute. And then they tagged Devontae Adams. Rumor has it that they're going to work on a long-term deal with him. We just told y'all yesterday that they're second in the NFL with most money paid to the top 51. So they're going to have to – apparently they're going to have to rework dudes.
Yeah.
Cut a bunch of people and figure it out. Wide receiver Chris Godwin. Offensive tackle Cam Robinson. What else? Offensive tackle Orlando Brown Jr. with the Chiefs. Jesse Bates, the safety for the Bengals. Cam Robinson with the Jaguars. Chris Godwin with the Buccaneers. They tried to work a long-term deal out with him.
Man,
This is a second straight year, right? Yeah.
for Robinson.
Making more than $19 million this year.
That's big time for Godwin.
For Godwin, sorry. That's who I was
He's
talking
injured,
about,
right? Yeah. What was his injury? It was ACL, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so, yeah. That's what's up.
So are you surprised that they did not tag Harold Landry? It would have been $18.7 million.
I'm just looking at it as, okay, we about to get a deal done for him. Because I'm fully on board with you do not touch this defense. If anything, keep them intact and keep rolling. You got to choose. You lost all your quarterbacks. You lost Aaron Rodgers that you was going to get. Then you lost Russell Wilson that you were going to get. So you got to choose where you're going.
If you are missing that, it is laced with sarcasm.
Okay, yeah, plenty
yes.
of it. Okay.
I have to make sure that people understand that you're being sarcastic.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you don't.
But yes.
This defense is intact, man, and it's the people up front, to me, is what spearheads everything. So you don't tag them.
Teron Davenport tweeted this a couple of hours ago, and it's a part of building your roster, I think, sometimes that people forget, But he said the Titans face the AFC West this season. That means they will face Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr.
Victoria Jackson just walked by. Remember her from Saturday Night Live? Anyway, that has nothing to do with Derek Carr.
No, I don't.
I was just going to say,
I didn't see her, though.
Google her.
Okay.
Victoria Jackson?
Yeah, she was on
Live?
Saturday Night Live a long time ago. She lives in Nashville. And
hit us one more time with what you said going into the break with Davenport.
Yes.
But the
Titans will face
tell us
the
what Davenport said.
AFC West. Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr. Those are the quarterbacks you're going to see. Defensively, you better be on your P's and Q's.
Intact.
615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. When we come back, we'll dive into the Russell Wilson trade in more detail. Take your phone calls, your opinions about that. Would you have made that deal to get a Russell Wilson or an Aaron Rodgers?
God, that's a lot of capital.
Also, Harold Landry trying to get a deal done is the report. 615-737-1045.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Thinking you need a big down payment to buy a house? Well, you don't. So stop searching for the money. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we can get you in the home of your dreams with no money down. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
You know what you need in your life? A jeweler that you can count on because we all have gifting responsibilities coming up. Mother's Day right around the corner. So go ahead and get started looking for that next new gift for the significant other in your life, your mom, your wife, whomever. Brentwood Jewelry, the guys down there can help you. 7012 Church Street, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Do you have a family heirloom that's precious to you, but it's not necessarily a style or a piece that you would wear today? It's hard to let somebody take your priceless heirloom and transform that into something you can wear every day. I get that, but it is what Brentwood Jewelry is known for, creating custom pieces. They can transform and create a personalized piece that is unique as the person who left you that keepsake. So that's one of the things they do. They can help you with watch repairs, jewelry repairs. They can help you with anything that you might be looking for gifting wise. Just go in there and introduce yourself and start that conversation. 7012 Church Street, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Well, it is conference championship week in college basketball. FanDuel Sportsbook has an offer that you do not want to miss. Right now, new customers, you can place your first college basketball bet risk-free. And if you don't win, you will get up to $1,000 back. Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. You know what that means. SEC tournament time. Let's go. You can jump in and I'm already looking here. Looks like Vanderbilt favored by 9 over Georgia. Maybe you want to jump in on that one. Wednesday, tomorrow night at 7:30 is when that game is. And keep an eye on Tennessee on Friday. That's when I'll be looking for. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now's a great time to give it a shot. And you can search through all the college basketball games on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You can see for yourself why it's America's #1 sportsbook. And I love the app because it's super easy. And they're always hooking you up with great odds. Download that FanDuel Sportsbook app today. Sign up with promo code DAWN to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. With March Madness coming, you know it's a perfect time to jump in on FanDuel Sportsbook. Again, download the app and sign up with promo code DAWN, DAWN. 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit. Expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Tennessee Redline, 1-800-889-9789.
Three HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you, producer Joe Hunk. Dawn has a message for you.
A message. Jason Aldean, yes, bringing his rock and roll cowboy tour to Bridgestone Arena. It's Friday, October 14th. Gabby Barrett, John Morgan, DJ Silver, special guests. 104.5 The Zone has your chance to win tickets. All you have to do is sign up to see Jason Aldean's rock and roll cowboy tour. Go to 1045 The Zone.
Versus.
Yes. 1045thezone.com/contest today. And tickets are also on sale, so you can go ahead and buy them now. Ticketmaster.com.
I literally in my head was going to say, what a pleasant read. Davenport there.
Wah, wah, wah.
And then you
Way to
put us
screw
on
it
another
up.
radio station. I love it. Would you make these deals? Like, it's funny because the draft picks used to be the most prized commodity in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's quarterbacks with a lot of these dudes. So, like, you're starting to see a lot of draft picks go for players now, which is weird. That's more like the NBA thinking, right?
Yeah, and I don't disagree with it though, because here's the deal: if you don't have a quarterback, it doesn't matter how good your edge guy or corner or wide receiver or running back is. If you don't have a quarterback.
Right. And the Broncos were sitting there thinking, hey, man, I'm not going to watch Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock out here again. We're not doing that again.
Yep.
So let me go get Russell Wilson, and I will give up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-rounder, Drew Lock, a quarterback, tight end Noah Fant, who caught 68 balls last year.
Oh, he's legit.
And defensive lineman Shelby Harris. And there you go. I mean, so now Russell Wilson goes to the Denver Broncos, and that's the AFC West. That's who the Titans have on the schedule next year is the AFC West. So, you get Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and Derek Carr and now Russell Wilson.
Well, that's what you got.
So you might want to keep Harold Landry.
And
that might be a thought.
Truth.
What do you do? What are you willing to give him to keep him? Because apparently it ain't a tag.
Mike Gesicki was on from Spot Track. Buck gets me all turned around on that. It's Spot Track.
Or Spot Track?
He calls it Spot Track, but it's Spot Track, which is an awesome website. If you haven't dove into they have all of the contracts.
Yeah.
All of the contracts.
It's really impressive.
And when you can get out of contracts and stuff like that. Like a 4-year deal is really a 2-year deal and all these things. That's why we knew it was easy to get out of you can save a lot of money by getting out of Taylor Lewan's deal, getting out of Roger Saffold's deal, getting out of Brett Kern's deal. Like, you can see that on that website. But anyway, Buck asked him about Harold Landry and the franchise tag. We now know that he wasn't franchised, right? And the story is that they're working on a long-term deal. But I thought this was an interesting thought today.
Do you think tagging Harold makes the most sense?
No, not from a cap standpoint, but I think it is the right move for this player specifically. I just don't think the sample size of him being an elite player is big enough for me to go out there and say, let's do $70 million guaranteed right now, which is kind of the going rate for these edge rushers. I like the idea of the wait and see approach here, even though the 18-7 is hard to take on in 2022 for this franchise. But yeah, I think with the quarterback position in flux in 2023, the running back position in flux, Julio Jones in flux, a lot of question marks coming after 2022. I wouldn't want to sink too much right now into this edge rusher specifically, knowing, we did this with Dupree last offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's interesting,
I feel like he talked himself in a circle.
Yeah.
I do too.
I get it, because we do the same.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I want to be
going,
definite.
But yeah.
Well, where are you?
I think
obviously it doesn't matter because they're not franchise tagging him. But where are you on keeping him?
So if you got to keep this intact, and after the season, all you heard was everybody saying, and when I say everybody, I'm talking about players that he played with saying, let's get this deal done. We need Landry in there. So Landry, what are you willing to accept if your teammate's going to step up and talk to you like that? I mean, talk for you like that. You're young. You're able to get this is your first contract. For real, coming off of your deal. This is your first time. You will be able to get another one. If staying healthy, maybe, yeah.
You can't ever count on
Very
that,
true.
though.
So what are you willing to sit with? 14 mil? I think that's pretty good.
Spot Track has him worth 17 and change on the open market.
I
They've
think
got to get, if they're going to get a deal done, they have to get it done by Monday.
Yeah.
Or he can. But if you're Harold Landry, why would you not test the market?
Because
Unless.
Right?
Man, you know that your production ain't going to be like it was with all these weapons around us. So if that's the case, and I'm talking about getting you a second deal, what if we gave you 3-year?
Spot Track has
42.
3 years, 68 is what Spot Track has his deal at.
That's a lot, man.
As far as
That's
on
production.
the open market.
Yeah. That means production
because
coming behind that.
Because the open market's going to pay more than what I think we all think he's worth.
That's why players usually hit the open market.
Right.
Yeah,
and I get it because
you have limited time where you have negotiating power.
Right.
Correct. And you have limited time in this sport to make a lot of money and protect and provide your family with generational wealth, right? I get all of that.
Yep.
But here's the other side of it. Now, this is the emotional side of it for me and probably us.
Right.
And maybe you don't know if you're Harold Landry, but you know that part of your production is because of who's around you.
Yeah.
Part of your production is because, defensively you have Jeffrey Simmons and Bud Dupree and Kevin Byard.
Come on and talk to me now.
I mean, part of your success is because of the total unit.
Yes.
Now, sometimes that doesn't matter if you want to just go get your money.
That's cool.
And call it a day.
That's cool.
Right?
That's
and get
understood.
your big contract and you're set.
Yep. And ride off into the sunset because that's where you'll be going.
But I would be okay with taking just a little less to have a chance to keep this defense together, to possibly improve, to see maybe if there's a chance at a Super Bowl, if they can fix whatever the hell happened late in the season offensively. And don't come at me and say you can't fix Ryan Tannehill because I think Ryan Tannehill is good enough.
Yeah.
Tim Kelly may be able to help him, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think
how many times, and this is a completely different conversation, but how many times over the year did we question play calling and decision making?
Plenty.
And we broke down with Greg Cosell on some of these plays that there were no other options for Ryan Tannehill. Now, granted, possibly, hey, an option is to throw the dang ball away instead of throwing it to the other team. I get that. But how much of that can you kind of pull together and think maybe that can improve on the offensive side of the ball?
Totally agree.
Well, it's reported that he wants to be the highest paid guy in the room. So
Landry?
if that's true, Bud Dupree makes 16.5. So you're talking about a lot of money for this dude.
Man, listen. I'm with everybody going to get their money. I ain't giving you Bud money. I ain't giving you Bud money.
You just gave me 1 year.
Yeah, and you didn't even give me the whole year. He banged up on the back end of that season. Pulled through getting ready to go into the playoffs, but he started off on fire.
Yeah, 12 sacks for the season. He's only missed one game though. He's
production boy. I'm telling
there.
you.
Durability.
Going out there.
Availability. God, that is huge.
It is.
But is it 17.5 million huge?
That's what I'm saying. I thought I was being generous saying 14.
Yeah.
3 years, 42. I think that's pretty good. To go back intact the way you had your most production and all them weapons and everybody going to get better. Even if Jack Rabbit go, you got somebody else, Fulton, ready to step in. Molden, Bayard. Man, you don't know who. Hey, man. I
think Jack Rabbit's definitely gone.
Yeah, and I just don't understand, man, why you, like you just said, it's a small window. It's also a small window to go get this, too. Like, you can go, who would get to him? A team that's floundering to make the playoffs? That's what you want to go do?
I mean, who knows?
And what if they don't?
You're paid.
You just said durability.
I like that you used the word floundering.
You like that?
I do.
That was a little fine Dory a little bit.
But it's an interesting battle.
Yeah.
Well, and it's easy for us too to sit here and say, okay, I mean, $3 million is a ton of money a year, right? I get it. And it's easy for us to sit here and say, okay, but when you're making 14 a year, what's $3 million to be in a situation where you want to be, where you're happy? And this is assuming that he is, where you know you can have success and where you have a good chance to go and win a championship.
But ultimately, isn't it a business? Because
Yes.
I mean, you've been in that. Look, you've been in that world, and we've both talked to people that have been in this situation. And I go back to the limited opportunities you have to cash in, and so this is one for him.
Yep.
And if I'm Harold Landry, I test the open market, and look, man. I mean, that's life-changing money, bro.
I feel him, but this is what I'm saying too. When you cash in, you're not always cashing in. If that make any sense. Like I had an OG tell me, dude, nothing can substitute for your comfort where you are.
I agree with that.
Because
but you don't get that till you get older.
Yeah.
Right. But
I totally agree with that. But so many of those guys are like, hey, give me the most money.
I know. And I didn't go with that initially. And I always tell him, dude, 1 year changed the whole trajectory of my earnings overseas.
Comfort had a value.
Without question.
Yep.
Even if it was taking like
I'm with you.
So 25 to 50,000 less compared to 3 million, I understand. It's really in the same area when we're talking about 100,000s versus millions. So
Right. Same difference.
Same difference is what I mean. Yeah. I should have went back to my same team that offered me the same money this other team did, but they just threw more bonuses and incentives. And I was like, dog, I can get up to about 150,000 doing bonuses and incentives. Instead of worried about this base salary, I'm going to take this and leave my comfort egg nest and go to this. Had a solid year, but the trajectory wasn't never the same. Like I could never get that back. What I left on the table from the comfort, I couldn't put a price tag on.
Yeah.
I was not able to go and get that again. Ever.
Yeah. I mean,
So I mean, you cannot, man. I'm telling you, he leave that money and go chase that bag. I guarantee. I ain't gonna guarantee because it's health involved, but 3 years, you take that right there, you can go get you another contract, man, and then you can really go chase it again. Like that's.
but
if
that's
you take the
concern,
42,
right? That I could
take the 42 or 50 mil.
But that I could tear my Achilles in opening week.
Yeah.
You know? I
Yeah,
mean,
no doubt.
That's the concern.
Ooh, well, hey.
I mean, Mr. Babs with a good point too, by the way, that he just texted me.
Does he like being called Mr. Babs?
I don't know. I don't care.
This girl.
He introduced himself to me as Mr. Babs.
There's also no state income tax here. And when you're
No, that's
talking
true.
that much money,
Yeah.
it makes a big difference.
does.
Yeah.
When you're at those levels,
Yeah.
it makes a huge difference
it
for
does.
us, right?
And don't get your contract in Bitcoin either. Like OBJ, did you see that?
No.
Not only did he go to California where you get just taken over
Yeah.
the coals.
Well, yeah, because his salary is the same as it would have been if he's in Tennessee with no state income tax with the cost of living that is way cheaper.
Right, but OBJ got it, and several other guys have done this in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin tanked. So he got paid like, what was the number? Hug, we'll have to look it up, but it was like $300,000
Really?
to play when it was a multi-million-dollar contract.
That's tough.
Yeah, you know what? That's when you know you just have too much damn money that you're okay with getting a contract in Bitcoin and taking a chance.
Swaggy Knuckles on P Knuckles on Twitter. Slay went after a 102-year-old woman on National Women's Day. That's what you call
No,
living
that was
dangerous.
yesterday.
Oh, it was
That was
yesterday.
yesterday.
It was yesterday.
No, I didn't do it like that.
It is National Women's International.
Happy National Women's Day.
Happy
Yeah.
International Women's Day. That's what it is.
International?
That's what it
Yes,
says.
International Women's Day. We just have all the days. Hey, by the way, where's my candy? Where's my sweets?
I got
Where's
some
my
M&Ms over here for you.
stuff?
There's some cupcakes right down in the kitchen.
Yeah, that none of y'all made.
Well, I had a little hand in it.
We
Who
didn't
made
even
them? Amy
I would carry 'em
Page
in.
made them.
I would carry them in.
Amy
They're
Page over
coconut. You don't
103.
need to eat them,
Oh.
Mayor.
I can't stand coconut, man.
I-
Why would anybody like coconut?
Are you hating on Amy Page's
I would be
cupcakes?
awful deserted on like an island with nothing but freaking coconut.
You
Like Tom Hanks.
Dog, do you know? I wish we could go back in time, or even now, just get all the vets that are around the league and ask them, is it something you could change? If it was something you could change in your playing career, what would it have been? And I wonder how many of them would say chasing that bag and not staying for what I know. I not choosing longevity over the bag, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, because I
think it probably depends on what the bag is.
I'm like that's true
like
too.
Albert Hainsworth, I mean,
That's different.
heck yeah, you're going.
Now that's total. That's you ain't got. You a fool.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that was $100 million
That's-
deal when you didn't have $100
You
million
got to
deals.
roll.
And it's weird, too, because it was a bad situation for him going from 4-3 to a 3-4 where
Right.
he was not
It was
gonna
not.
be
It was
dominant.
not conducive to what he did
That's,
so well.
That's different right now. That's totally different.
Albert
But
Hainsworth's contract year is the most dominant defensive tackle season in the history of the league.
I'm serious.
That
If
guy,
only he would have freaking done it more consistently.
I'm serious.
that guy, just being around here watching that play after play, like you could not block him.
It was nothing.
Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Grant is in Lebanon. Grant, what's up?
Hey, man, I know it's a big day in the NFL, but I want to give some love to the Lebanon High School Blue Devils. They made it to state last night for the first time since '01. I know Slade called a game.
Uh-huh.
Just want to hear your thoughts on the state championship and who you got winning it, brother. Thank you, man.
You guys are going to be doing a little state
Yeah, we
championship
are, man.
basketball this weekend.
No doubt. I was really impressed with Lebanon too, man. Jared Hall, guy that can really get it done. The pogo stick up there. They got some good players, man. So gonna be interested to see how far they can go. I think the girls, I'm not sure if they won their sub-state game, if they go into the state as well. But both good teams. They got a good program. I have to dive into it more to see who all the attention is on. But I think the people we're gonna have on Friday.
Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller and Coach Marlon Sims. I think that's if I had to put my money on somebody, I'm gonna have to roll with them and put the money on them because I would there. This is a generational player that they got over there at Cane Ridge, so it's gonna be interesting.
Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay. 615-737-1045. What do you think about that? What do you think about the Harold Landry situation? All of that on the board today. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
All right. Go Preds. NashvillePredators.com/paint. PAINT. You want to go to that website, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because they have the all-new Paint the Town's Preds pack going on right now. By the way, big game tonight as well. Presented by Yeehaw Brewing and Old Smoky. This is what you can get with the Preds pack. 2 weekend game tickets and 1 weeknight game ticket of your choice. Plus, you get a Preds car flag, a $25 Yeehaw Brewing Company gift card, and a chance to purchase 2022-2023 season tickets. NashvillePredators.com/paint is where you need to go. This is an awesome pack. Lots of extra stuff included in it. And you can get your Paint the Town Preds pack today to score your own hat trick right here in Smashville. Go Preds.
What up, people? Listen, now we've been talking about Harold Landry and him and get his money, chasing the bag and everything. Nothing like getting extra money. Nothing like it. So listen, Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com, they will help you do that exactly. Now looking to expand your home or make some much-needed home improvements to make your largest asset work for you. And you can get cash out with your cash out refi through the Home Loan Expert. The average homeowner last year got $52,000 out for their refi. Come on now, it don't get no simpler than that. You can close on your loan in as little as 21 days, from new home loans to refinances. Get great low rates and top-notch customer service at thehomeloanexpert.com. Are you still struggling with the bills and debt? Do exactly what I told you to do, and you won't be doing that anymore. Looking to purchase homes, working from becoming an inconvenience? Maybe you need to upsize or buy a new home. Get pre-approved at thehomeloanexpert.com. So simple, so easy. If you listen to Big Slay, you won't go the wrong way. Yeah, that's a little rhyme for you. So talk to Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. That's Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay.
Hey!
615-737-1045. Harold Landry not getting franchise tagged. Would have been $18.7 million. From Tom Pelissero, the Titans won't be tagging outside linebacker Harold Landry. Tennessee still hopes to re-sign Landry to a long-term deal, but if nothing is done by Monday, the 25-year-old pass rusher will head into the negotiating window as a free agent.
And I said 27, 28. He 25? I'm going to give me 2 deals. I'm going to give me 2 deals. Whatever I got to do, I'm going to give me 2 deals.
Again, Spot Track has him valued at 3 for $68 guaranteed. At 25 with $68 million, I wouldn't trust myself. Back in the day.
Oh, man. Golly.
We were rolling around bar to bar out there.
He said 3.
So you wouldn't now go after the bag, Slay?
Not me. I just think with the way this team is set up and all they're preaching, the way they want to go, how they're going to get there, you got a defense intact. You got young guys around you. It ain't like you got an old vet that, once he go away, once Ray Lewis walk away, it's going to be a totally different – that ain't it.
Right.
You got young guys blossoming around you right now that you can blossom with. Man, they going to – if you can get a 3 or 4 year, man, they going to be working on their deals when yours coming to an end also. So one thing you can depend on, we just got finished talking about Big Al Hainsworth. It was time for him to re-up. That's why he was playing like that. What you think Big Jeff going to be doing after he get his deal? Or Bud going to be doing when he ready to get another deal? Like, hey, man, nah, I couldn't walk away from it, Babs.
See, it's
honestly.
interesting, too, because fans
not knowing what I know.
Fans romanticize players, right? Like, it's a business, though.
It is
players
a business.
come and go, man.
It is a business.
On both sides.
Yeah, but my thing, too, though, is when you develop a culture and you're preaching one way, the reason those other cultures you look at were successful, and, the one we got to look at is New England, is because, the guy was taking restructured deals to make sure people stayed in place. You got something special, man, on that defense, I believe.
I agree. You can keep it together, but, you can't. I don't know the inner workings of the Titans economics moving forward, 2, 3, 4 years out. I do know that A.J. Brown's going to need to get paid. I do know that Big Jeff's going to need to get paid.
Yep.
What are you going to do at quarterback? Because you better start thinking about the succession pattern or succession plan at quarterback, because Ryan Tannehill is going to give you 2 more years maybe.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I signed a 3-year.
What's going to happen with Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
615-737-1045. Sue Ann in Nashville. Sue Ann, what's up?
Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
Dawn, I hope you're waving your magic wand over Landry.
She's the one who gave us yes. We might need it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. I think we, keep Harold Landry. We need to keep our defensive line. What I'm so upset about is that we haven't done what we needed to do to help Ryan Tannehill be successful as our quarterback. He can throw long. He's got a laser, but he does better when he has more options about how he gets that ball down the field. And if I were Harold Landry, which I'm not, but if I were, I would be asking the Tennessee Titan powers that be, which I support the Adams family 100%, what are you going to do to help the offensive line be the best that they can be? Give me a reason to stay.
I like that.
Well, and that, yeah.
I like that.
We kind of had a similar conversation in the break because Slay's like, Babs, would you take the bag? And I said, I would take less money to stay somewhere if I 100% thought we had a legit chance to win a championship, because honestly,
Right.
that's all that matters. And that
Right.
exactly what you're saying, Sue Ann, came up because you can look defensively and say, yes, this is a unit that is in place to go and win a championship. Now, you can also, as a defensive player, look on the other side of the ball, and maybe he doesn't believe that that is going to be or is in a place to go win a championship, and maybe that affects his decision. Who knows?
Right. Right. And the thing of it is that, part of this, love Coach Vrabel, not going to say anything against him, but I'm going to go back to Dean Pease. And Vrabel knew he was leaving, begged him to stay. He came and stayed. Then he begged him another year. But he knew he was leaving, and he didn't do anything to get a coach. And he thought he could channel Dean Pease for a year. And so we lost a whole year because Vrabel thought he could do that. So do we trust Vrabel? I want to trust him, but sometimes I'm scared to trust him.
Sue Ann, you are right on the money with what you just said. You got it going on. Appreciate it.
I like what she said. If you're taking the place of Landry, and you go to the Titans, like you said, Babs, and you tell them, are we all planning to come back and run it back and put something in place to help each other? Because if we are, I'm the Titans. I'm gonna tell Landry, yes, we are. That's why we give you 13 or 14 right now, and we're gonna go get this line intact. All the pressure ain't gonna be on y'all. We gonna get this thing together. I'm giving you my word.
Help us with a cap-friendly deal, and let's go.
Let's get it done.
Are we overthinking this? Are we
I just think
sports talk
I just think most players,
overthinking of it?
I just think most players will chase the bag.
Yes.
Okay, so
and I don't blame them.
All right, so if that's the case,
it's a short career.
Yeah, without question. And if that's the case, guess what? What you willing to pay then?
That's right.
In this deal, what you
got to
willing to
balance
pay?
your economics with what you're willing to throw
Right,
out
and
there.
I think that you oppose that to Titans fans because a lot of them.
I was going to say, so what are you willing to pay for Harold Landry to run it back?
Yep. Since a lot of people saying they surprised they didn't tag them and this, that, and that, well, what you willing to give them so we can make sure we keep them?
615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. You can watch the show on Zone TV, Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
And there's a message board involved with that, which we can see. And Ron Slay
activity
tends to interact.
I'm active.
Quite a bit with that. Coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, Allan Bell at 4:20. We'll talk about all of these things and how it affects the gambling market. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Thinking you need a big down payment to buy a house? Well, you don't. So stop searching for the money. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we can get you in the home of your dreams with no money down. Get pre-approved
Some weird
today
sound effects in that.
I
don't know what that was. Action247.com. Get signed up and bet local, the only local legal sports book in the state of Tennessee. Bet 3 games last night and then parlayed all 3, won all 3, and then won the parlay. So might lay off tonight, but I'm looking at Detroit money line, Minnesota money line, and Nashville money line in the NHL. Clemson, Jacksonville, and Cal Poly with the numbers in college basketball. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know what you're thinking as these conference tournaments are underway and the big tournaments start as we roll through the week. Looking forward to watching a lot of college basketball. NHL, NBA, you can get with it all. Action247.com is the website. Get signed up. They've got all kinds of promotions. Basically, you'll get an email every day with some kind of deal that they're running for that day. So it's really, really cool. Download the apps and get it done that way. It's easy on the phone to get it done, and you can live in-game bet as well. Action247.com is the website. Get signed up. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
Good afternoon. I am Joe Hogg, and a number of players have received their franchise tag, but Harold Landry is not one of them. The Tennessee Titans have decided not to use the franchise tag this year. The deadline actually passed 1 hour ago. Before that, though, fireworks were going off between Denver and Seattle as the Broncos have traded for quarterback Russell Wilson. They will also be getting a 4th-round pick from Seattle. In return, the Seahawks will be getting quarterback Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant, defensive lineman Shelby Harris, as well as 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick. And one of those players that received that franchise tag was Devontae Adams, a wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. Why did he receive that? Well, that's because his quarterback is coming back. Aaron Rodgers said that he will be returning to Green Bay next season. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to go visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air, 104.5 The Zone. Appreciate you being with us. A very busy day in the world of sports. Was yesterday, too. It's just that time of year.
I love it.
Got March Madness, and you got the NFL.
That's why it's all going wild. This is the best time of the year, people.
It is.
Yeah, ain't nothing better than this.
And you got base. No, you don't have baseball.
Nah, you ain't got that. I ain't worried about that little stuff.
But base, what's that?
It's a sport back in the old days.
Basketballs.
Yeah, remember that? Baseball?
Oh, never.
I mean, in all seriousness, it looks like they're not going to have a season.
Would it be in Women's League? Women's Day, they ought to bring the Women's League back like a league of their own.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Now, who
They
wouldn't go
have
support
softball,
that?
But
Dude, that scene at the end where they're going through the Women's Hall of
Dope.
Fame,
Dope.
I'd lose it.
Dope.
of course you do.
You're right. Exactly. I was just
I
thinking
do.
that best.
Such
I
a
do.
softie.
If I were a Seattle fan, maybe I'd be losing it. I don't know. Russell Wilson is gone. He's going to Denver.
Out
They
of
have
hell.
Drew Lock.
It's
Yeah.
funny, too, because the Seahawks and the Broncos go way back.
They
in
do
terms
have
of
Noah
rivalry.
Fant. Should be happy about that.
Yeah, so the deal is, if you haven't seen it, Russell Wilson and a 4 to the Denver Broncos for 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, a 5th-rounder, quarterback Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant, and defensive lineman Shelby Harris. That is a lot.
A lot of players, a lot of picks.
Yeah, I mean, if you think you've identified your game-changing quarterback, you got to give up a lot.
That was Russell.
Like, if somebody came after Ryan Tannehill and offered you 2 first-rounders, never mind.
Hey, and guess what, everybody?
Them's just jokes, Ryan. Love you, bro.
We got him. We got him. He's here. 17. Here
Logan?
to stay. No, 17.
17.
Yeah, they can forget about it. Oh, listen,
Archie.
I'm glad this is over with.
Tanny.
Like, let's go. Let's go. I don't want to hear no more about Aaron Rodgers. I want to hear no more about Russell Wilson.
But, I mean,
you want to let's get Mitchell Trubisky?
it was a funny talking point. But at no point did it make any kind of fiscal sense to go a different direction at quarterback.
I just don't like when people invest in it, though.
He's got so much dead cap money.
And
if they traded him, they were going to have to unload a bunch of money too. It was going to count against the cap too.
Ain't going nowhere. Let's do it. It's time to get busy.
Run it back.
Did you go through the top player cap hits of 2022? Because
I saw that.
Ready?
he's on the
do it.
list.
Let's do
Tannehill
it.
is number 4 on the list of top cap hit players.
Correct.
With a $38.6 million cap.
By
number.
the way, this list hits Ron Slay
Yeah, just wait.
just where he wants.
It's exactly
wants it.
why I went the direction I went.
Oh,
Number 3, Deshaun Watson, 40.4. So if you're wondering what's going on with Deshaun Watson, he's got 9 of the 22 civil cases he will have to at least attest to. And his attorney, Rusty Hardin, is arguing another case right now. So it looks like the beginning of April before they get to this one. Plus, they still could throw criminal charges at him. So that's kind of where we are with that. So I don't expect anything to happen with Deshaun Watson until all that stuff.
yeah.
Kinda
And I
works itself
think
out.
the latest news, right, that came out was several women who filed those criminal complaints against Watson have been subpoenaed. They will appear before a grand jury on Friday, according to their lawyer. And then the grand jury will decide if criminal charges will be brought against Watson. But then after that, even, you're right, there's
sticky.
So he counts $40.4 million against the cap for the Texans. Kirk Cousins, number 2 on the list at $48 million. Number 1 player in the NFL, counting $48.6 million against the cap. Ron Slate's favorite quarterback, Matt Ryan.
Yeah. Hey, hold on to him, Atlanta, please. Don't spread that anywhere. Don't spread that virus around.
So there's the Russell Wilson deal. We mentioned that. Aaron Rodgers will remain with the Packers. The Ian Rappaport had the numbers at 4 years, $200 million. McAfee immediately said that's not right, as did Aaron Rodgers. And McAfee said, well, my source is Aaron Rodgers. So there you go. So we'll see the numbers, how they play themselves out. But again, as we told you yesterday, the Packers are number 2 in the NFL in terms of most money paid to the top 51. So the thought is that they're going to have to mushroom cloud that roster.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll have Devontae Adams, who they franchised, and Aaron Rodgers. Back in the day when you're playing in the neighborhood, and you were like, hey, man, all I need is these 2 players right now, like me and him.
And we good.
And we'll play all y'all.
Anytime.
That's what the Packers are doing.
Well, that's what they're going to be stuck
Times
with.
they have a change.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, there's always a but.
Yeah.
If you ain't got a quarterback, you don't have anything.
You got glorified rugby.
You got nothing.
That's right. So back in the day, it would have been Buck saying, hey, all I need is Slay out here. We'll take on all y'all.
We got it. You ain't saying that now.
I'd take that, though.
You rock.
I'd rock that.
That's my girl.
You can give me Slay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but she's betting against you on the running thing.
Oh, 100% I'm betting against you on running.
That's just out here. Listen, that's for the public.
But see,
deep
that's
down
two
inside, I know what she
separate
really
things.
believes. I know what she believes. I know what she believes.
Also, the all-SEC teams are out there. Slay's got his own.
That's right.
I'm trying to figure out.
You know why? You know why I came up with my own?
Why?
Because you don't like the all-SEC team?
Because somebody that you really think should be on there is missing.
No, but yeah. And basically, they've got 2 teams, 17 guys. 9 people made first team. What we doing?
I've said that every year.
What are we doing?
Plus, they don't do it positionally, which is fine because they're.
I'm cool without the positions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm
But
not.
you want the positions? I mean,
Really
but it's positionless basketball, though.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's the problem with it. You know what I mean? Because you ain't really got a center.
I mean, Jabari Smith's almost 7 feet tall, and he's out there
like a 2-guard, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but my thing,
guy.
you got 14 coaches deciding on it. You pick 17 players. How this number? 17 players for 2 teams. 9 on the first team, 8 on the second
And
team.
you can't vote for your own guy? Is that true?
I don't know. I need to know that. Maybe we'll ask Lanier when he come on. He's been a part of that
So
process.
the first team all-SEC team is J.D. Note, who's awesome.
Yep.
Love watching that dude. Jalen Williams off Arkansas's team as well. Walker Kessler and Jabari Smith from Auburn. Sheboy with Kentucky. And by the way, that Florida game, I listened to part of that going down to Memphis over the weekend to see the Grizzlies, and it was like basket after basket after basket. 27 and 15.
Nothing they can do with them.
In that game.
Nothing they can do with them.
Eason from LSU. Molinar from Mississippi State is a really good player. Vescovy from Tennessee on the first team, all-SEC team, and Scottie Pippen Jr. There are the 9. Shouldn't it be 5?
It is 5 in mine.
I mean, you're not rolling out 9 dudes with a ball.
How you going to do that? You know what I mean? Like, how you going to do that? Don't even make sense. But I'll tell you. Okay, go ahead and finish.
I don't have the second team in front of me.
Well, guess
I do
what?
have the freshman team in front of me.
Okay, go ahead.
How do you pronounce the Alabama freshman? Bediako?
Not sure. Out of my pay grade.
J.D. Davison from Alabama. Jabari Smith from Auburn. Ty Washington from Kentucky. Brandon Murray from LSU. Devin Carter, South Carolina. Kennedy Chandler and Zakai Ziegler from Tennessee.
That's too many teams.
Zakai Ziegler did not get the 6-man award.
Right. Tyree Eason did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where's your problem?
My
What's
problem.
your team?
This is my team.
Do you have 5 people on your team?
Yep, I got three teams, 3 all-SEC teams, like it's supposed to be. First team, second team, and a third team. My first team is Jabari Smith
Yes.
from Auburn, Santi Vescovy from UT, J.D. Note from Arkansas, Big Oscar, and then Tari Eason.
Well, you can go win some games with that group.
Oh, I know it. You got to tell me.
Right?
I know it for sure. That's defense, that's scoring, that's brim protection, that's rebounds, that's everything. Second team, Scottie Pippen Jr., Walker Kessler, Ty Washington, Kennedy Chandler, Jalen Shackelford.
Go win some games with that team, too.
You better believe it. Look at that backcourt. That's a work right there. Third team, Kobe Brown from Missouri, Castleton from Florida, Jalen Williams from Arkansas, Iverson Molinar from Mississippi State, and Xavier Pinson.
Yeah, you like Pinson.
I like Pinson. That's the reason that team goes. Now, the second team that they had was Shackelford, Castleton, Ty Washington, Xavier Wheeler, Darius Days, Kobe Brown, Kennedy Chandler, and Quentin Jackson. So Quentin got left off mine, and Darius Days got left off mine. I want to say one more. But Pippen should, to me, see, this is.
You should put that on Twitter.
You can't have
first team.
Yeah, you can't have 9 people, man. 9 people don't deserve to be on the first team. Like, you can't. All right, everybody, here come the starting lineup. After they name point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, point guard, shooting guard,
point guard,
another center, and another point guard. There's 9 of them, y'all. Like, what? You can't. This.
Congratulations.
That's weak, man. That's the participation stuff.
It is.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? That ain't nothing. Yeah, I ain't with that.
Or it's just not breaking down the ties, right?
Yeah, like break it down. Like you don't deserve it. You don't deserve
it's
it.
17 players between the
17
first
players.
2. Oh man,
17 players.
Can I bring up this random point?
You may.
I think it also just shows the strength of the SEC as a basketball conference now too. That you actually have that many players to talk about, right?
Yeah, I agree.
To argue deserve a first team spot.
I agree, but
you don't care.
no, yeah,
I'm with you.
You're like,
on
that's
this
the
one.
norm now.
yeah,
That
this-
is
you gotta
the SEC basketball.
Listen, I had to
norm.
make a decision. Now, I think Josiah James should make one of these teams. I also thought he should have made one of the all defensive teams. But if I'm gonna put my analyst hat on, I can understand. Like he came on in the second part of the SEC season after they played Texas. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Scottie Pippen, I love what he does. He ain't on first team, man. Y'all can't get more wins than what y'all getting, man. You know what I mean? You got to be able to, you got to be able to move the needle. Close out games. Now, this all could have changed if he would have made them free throws against, I forgot who it was they just played, but he had plenty of times to change this narrative where he could have been first team.
him the one.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Front end.
I just can't, I can't do that, man.
Adam says Brandon Miller will be first team this time next year. He's a Bama fan. He also says Betty Ocko is trash, and I'm a Bama fan.
Darn. I don't think Brandon Miller will be first team. That's a lot for a freshman, man. Isn't any freshman on here? Jabari Smith. Does he have the ability? Yes, he does have the ability to go do that. That's tough, man. I think they got a lot of weapons coming in. They got a point guard coming in at Alabama next year with them, too. That's supposed to be tough. So
I can't believe between you and Mose Phillips, you couldn't get that guy to Knoxville.
Yeah. The man dad went to Alabama.
I know.
I don't know.
Daryl Miller. 615-737-1045. We'll get to the phones when we come back. Actually, no.
I should have had a hand in it.
We've got Allan Bell coming up.
Hey,
next.
AB.
So if you want to hold on, we'll get to you in the next segment, but AB will be first. We'll talk about all these moves and how it changes the win totals. And we know quarterbacks move the needle, unlike any other position in sports. So we'll talk to AB about that next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Banks are great for car loans, but when you need a home loan, you need an expert. We'll get you pre-approved the day you call in, lower rates, and with our 21-day closing guarantee, you'll be in your dream home in weeks.
They've done it again, people. Last year, Music City Autoplex doubled their business. That's right. You need to go in there and help them triple the business. Now they're using this momentum to invest back into the business and their customers. Music City Autoplex is expanding. That's right. They're not only expanding their inventory, but also expanding their showroom and service facilities. What does this mean for you? Probably wonder. First of all, 2430 Gallatin Pike North is where you would go into the dealership, or MusicCityAutoplex.com. You can also reach them, but more inventory choices at market low prices, more access to great financing options. And expect expanded customer service experience. Music City Autoplex already has more pre-owned inventory than any independent dealer in Middle Tennessee. That's right. And now they're increasing it. All of this to better serve their customer. You, when it comes to your next pre-owned vehicle, there's no need to go anywhere else. Music City Autoplex is a one-stop shop. All the inventory, the selection, and financing options you need to make the right decisions at that right price for you. Come on, people. I'm telling you right now. That's it. You want to go get a car? Go to Music City Autoplex. Go get your car.
Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Go see my friends at Gupton, and you'll be glad that you did. There will be no pressure at all. They just want you in the vehicle that's right for you. That's it. So check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. The entire inventory is there. All the dealership information is there as well, and you can get it done. 3450 Tom Austin Highway is the address in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Go take your test drive. Ask your questions. They'll have your answers for you, and then you'll go inside. They'll help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, these guys have you covered. New or pre-owned, whatever you need, they will be able to help you. Again, the only goal is they want you in the vehicle that's right for you. That's it. So go see my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Tell them Brent sent you. Again, the website, GuptonMotors.com. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Hit us on Twitter at 3HL 1045. D. Lee going in on a little bit on Miller, saying Brandon Miller over at Cane Ridge, who is a phenomenal basketball player. Mm-hmm. If he's starting freshman year, tell me what position. Now, his sophomore year, after he adds another 10 to 13 pounds of college muscle, he could be the nicest player that's come out of here in a long time.
All right, let me correct you. It won't be no sophomore year for Brandon Miller.
He's starting next year.
And he will be starting next year.
Why he's going there.
Like, hey, man, the fan dust, man, is real, man.
Fan dust.
Yeah, the fan dust.
I like that.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fan dust is real. They get in your eyes, man, and make it hard to see. I'm telling you. They get in your eyes, make it hard to see, dude. You got to get that fan dust out your eyes, man. Like, I understand you want them there. I want Kennedy Chandler to come back. I want him. Is it likely? Probably not. Just my opinion. Who says I'm right? I know Brandon Miller.
He ain't coming back.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just.
But if you had fan dust in your eyes, you'd be like, well, if he's going to be like
Brandon
15
Miller,
to 18 in the first
he
round.
gained 10 to 13 more pounds. Have you noticed the guys that went in the first round? Do you notice their size? Jalen Green is starting for Houston. See how little he is? Like, this is not. Hey, everybody, newsflash. This ain't the old NBA where you got power forwards running around diesel. Anthony Mason ain't walking through that door.
Oh, my goodness.
Charles Oakley ain't walking through that door.
I'm glad you brought up Anthony Mason.
Larry Johnson ain't walking through that door. Like, that's over with, people. It's
Defense
gone.
ain't walking through that door.
Another reason. Offense is. This man is it. So,
Yep.
come on, man. You're talking about a 6'9" point guard. Get out of here.
It is funny to go to, because we just went to a Grizzlies game, but it's funny to watch. It's almost
Look
like
at Ja.
It's almost like a dance out there.
Yeah.
No, in terms of effort going after the ball.
Yeah.
It's like a dance. Like you kind of, okay, this guy's going to get this, so I'm going to lay back and stuff. I mean, that happens.
The only time you don't see that is when the playoffs start.
That's right.
That is the only time when there's two guys trying to box
maybe
out.
There's too many damn games. If it's a league where it makes it okay to play like
but
that.
the thing is, you still got kids that want to see it. They sell to the younger generation.
Yeah.
So.
What are you saying, Slay?
About what?
What are you saying?
He's saying that you're old.
As in, I'm old or something? That I don't get it? Oh, I get it. I read between the lines. I see what you're saying, Slay. Look, he's like, I can't really dig myself out of this.
Hey, Babs, that's a nice haircut you got today.
Hey, man.
Hey, so changing the subject real quick.
Ahead,
By
Babs.
the way, our golf classic is coming up. You can play golf with Slay so he can tell you that you're old if you would like.
If you want to shotgun a beer with him, he'll do that.
Definitely do that.
Yes.
And smoke a cigar.
So our spring golf classic is Monday, April 25th at Old Natchez Country Club, which is an awesome club. And food, cocktails, prizes, all of that. We have 2 flights, 8 a.m. or 1 o'clock. And you can join us. Early bird tickets are on sale right now through Sunday, and you can save like over $100 by purchasing an early bird foursome. 1045thezone.com. I know my friend Slay over there is playing.
Yep, I can't wait.
I'm sure his golf game is
right
right where the old man's golf game should be.
Is Davenport not playing?
No, I'm
yes,
not
she
playing.
is.
Nope.
Babs, you got to take
Nope.
one swing. It ain't right. You got to take one swing, Babsy.
Nah.
You have to, man.
Allan Bell joins us.
Either that or you got a shotgun a bill.
Whoa.
Oh, I can do that.
I like that.
That's easy.
Believe me, I like
That's
that
way
better.
easier
Yeah,
than swinging a
I like
glove.
that better than the swing anyway. That's a good time for me. That's what I'm talking about.
Some great video time.
This is gonna be party time.
Yes. Allan Bell from SportsLine.com joins us. AB, what's up? How are you?
Hey, I'm fantastic. Look, I love when Slay hits us with a news flash. That's becoming my favorite thing. I love it.
You like when I got my announcements, AB?
Newsflash.
Man, Slay, hey, you just set the tone, and you gave us a Grandma Ma shout out too with the Larry Johnson. So I love it.
Them dudes ain't walking through the door no more, AB, man. It's
no,
over.
they're not, man, at all.
Dude, I remember when I was coming in the combine, getting ready for the combine. Who was it? I think not Tayshaun Prince. Tyson Chandler had already gone. Who was somebody else? It was somebody else, man, that was frail. And we got to do 185 for our bench. Man, I asked, how much did Tyson, because Tyson Chandler was a top 3 pick. How much did Tyson Chandler do on the bar? They said he did 1. I said, what? He was a top 3 pick. That right there started the decline right
Was it
there.
Chris Bosh?
Like it's over with.
Chris Bosh was in your
100
Chris Bosh too.
pounds?
Yes, I don't know what Chris Bosh did either.
No,
yeah.
225 one time.
No, 225 for football, 185 for men.
Oh, 185.
For football, basketball.
If you
Basketball,
remember,
okay.
Kevin Durant did 0.
Yeah, KD was one. Yeah, like people get up under that bar and be like, "Man, nah, I'm cool on this, man."
Yeah, I'm out.
Hey, them arms start shaking, boy, like they can't get it going. Yeah.
Hey, man, for
I love
real. Yeah.
Hey, so let's start with Russell Wilson, Allan Bell.
Yeah.
So quarterbacks are the players that move the needle more than any player in any sport, right? Like, so if you take Aaron Rodgers out of the lineup, it's going to affect the point spread far greater than any other player, and it's not close. Positionally. I'm just using him as an example. A quarterback affects it more than any other position. So what does this Russell Wilson move from Seattle to Denver do? What does it change?
Yeah, so it's going to change their win percentage. It's going to change them, as a whole, because you have, your most important position, managed by somebody who knows what they're doing, right? So the team's going to get better. Here's the thing is that it's relative when you start to look at, kind of the futures route in terms of, winning the division, making the playoffs, winning the Super Bowl, et cetera. Because welcome to the AFC West. My God, man. You've got Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. The worst quarterback is Derek Carr, and he's pretty good, right? So, that's the difficult part is that it makes the Broncos better, but this division is still brutal.
Yeah.
What's interesting, too, is Seattle, they get Drew Lock, but my guess is they take Kenny Pickett at 9, and then they've got another small-handed quarterback like Dave Craig. Remember, he used to fumble the ball all the time back in the day.
Dave Craig. The fascinating part with Seattle is this, right? So, one, you're looking at a team who just got a ton of draft picks, right? 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a 5th. This is a team that really hasn't done well in the draft, to be completely honest with you. And 2, it's fascinating that the oldest head coach in the NFL, Pete Carroll, is now in full rebuild mode. Right? And we thought there were rumors that he might have retired, this offseason. So I'm fascinated to see what Seattle does in regards to this, because even when they had Russell Wilson, their offense was 75% run the football. I'm really fascinated to see how they go about it.
You put out some interesting numbers with your analytics team over there at sportsline.com talking about Aaron Rodgers and what he would mean on other teams. We now know, obviously, he's going back to Green Bay, but it's interesting to see what a guy with his kind of skill set does to teams that are already good, right, but could improve at the quarterback position.
Oh, absolutely. If you looked at him coming to the Titans, right, it was a difference of, 1 win roughly in the regular season, but that's because the Titans are a pretty good team already. But you look at the playoffs, right? Making the playoffs, winning the AFC, winning the Super Bowl. I mean, these numbers went up double-digit percentages because he's that big of a player. And you look at the opposite side. If Aaron Rodgers would have left and gone from Green Bay, we had them projected at winning 7 games. And that was like a ceiling, right? So Green Bay understood the difference of what Aaron Rodgers makes. And you brought up a good point just a minute ago in terms of quarterbacks and point spreads. You remember the game he didn't play in this previous season? The line moved 7 points immediately. You never see that in a regular season game. So all of that brings us to another question. You did all this. What in the world was that Jordan Love trade about now? That was an expensive mistake right there, because it just cost you $50 million a year. So I'm fascinated to see what they do with Jordan Love now. Do they keep him, trade him? They got a decision now to make there.
Well, they've clearly learned something about Jordan Love during this time, right? I mean, that's why, if they really thought he was the future or he could handle it and he could turn into their franchise quarterback, then this Aaron Rodgers thing wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it's 100%. That's an excellent point. You're exactly right, Babs.
Hey, B, man, listen, I pull out my notebook and pad, notebook, pad, and pen, and pencil every time you get ready to come on, dog. So I know exactly what's going on as far as paying attention to games and paying attention to betting. What about a guy that's in the sport betting on the sport, as in Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, that one's tough, man, because this is kind of the first one. There have been players in the NFL that have, bet before. Paul Hornung did back in the 60s, right? But this is the first time to where it's, it's mainstream. And Ridley's going to find himself in trouble because this, right? Like, remember that the suspension is an indefinite suspension of at least a year. A lot of people think it's 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
It's an indefinite suspension, right? Number two, the hard part is that the NFL now has to deal with the credibility factor. And that's one of these things to where it's kind of like a marriage. Like, if there's infidelity, you don't get that back ever. It's done, right? So they're kind of dealing with that now, and I don't know what they do because the NFL usually takes the path of least resistance. It's easy for them to just say, well, you're just not ever coming back. We're done, right? Because if he does come back and he drops a pass or has a weird fumble or anything, all it takes is one time. And everyone will go crazy assuming that this game is fixed and all that. And the NFL does not want to be answering those questions because perception is reality. And if you bring it up and have to address it, now it's your problem. So I am fascinated to see what the NFL does. They don't have to do anything for at least a year, but I am fascinated to see what they do about it.
So you think AB that with it being indefinite, like maybe it's over, even knowing like we've seen people come back from being out of the league and, able to appeal it and, get in trouble with shootings and get in trouble with marijuana, get put off the team. All of this, you think this is enough, this $1,500 bet to end his career?
That's the hard part is that, look, this isn't my opinion. I'm just speaking of how I think the NFL addresses it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to sound terrible. If I'm a PR person, the head PR person for the NFL, it's easier for me to address someone who's been in a shooting coming back to the league than the potential of the league being fixed. Because the league being fixed in that conversation, it's all over. This entire thing is done, and you'll never get it back. So if I'm a PR person for the NFL, when this conversation is coming back, I'm standing on the table saying, look, I feel bad for the guy, but it is much easier to be done with him. It sets a precedent that we're not having any of this. It's much easier to do that, and the NFL generally goes with the easy answer. I don't know if he ever takes a snap in the NFL again, and I'm very serious about that.
I mean,
it's tough, man.
They protect the shield. They always say that, and the integrity of the sport.
100%. And, there's a lot of rules you can break. You just can't break that one. And if he were betting on NBA games, he could have been tweeting about it constantly with his own parlays and everything. Nobody would have cared.
Right.
You just can't bet that game. Like, you're not going to hear Jim Nantz giving out his college basketball parlays live during the Final Four.
Right.
Like, you just can't do it. Right? So it's going to be tough for him to come back, man. It really, really is.
Brent Musburger might, though.
Yeah,
he might do that.
Come back.
He did.
Hey, so we know this is a little off topic, but different sport. We know Floyd Mayweather's a gambler. Like, is that illegal for him to bet on boxing? Because if I was him, I would definitely have bet on myself along my career.
Oh yeah, and he definitely did, right? Like that. That's where it becomes, who is, in charge of this, right? Like the Nevada Boxing Commission, and boxing has been one of those sports where it's kind of questionable forever. But here's the thing, exactly what you just said. The NFL does not ever, ever, ever want to be involved in that same conversation with boxing. And now, like, you're kind of erasing that line that keeps you from, being mentioned with them. And they do not want to do that. They can handle a lot of things. That's one that they cannot handle at all.
I wonder, was this the fear? Like of moving a team to Vegas and all of this, like all this underlying. That's
well, it's funny. Like, Slay, you bring up an excellent point. Like, that was always the conversation forever, that you can't bring a team to Vegas.
That's right.
And then they finally do.
Yeah.
But sports betting brought it to everyone else.
Right.
So Vegas didn't matter. Like, they brought it to everybody. And the leagues being involved with these books, like, that's a whole separate conversation too. Like, this is all new precedent here. Like, we don't have a blueprint on how to handle it. So that's why it gets kind of risky. And then Calvin Ridley live tweeting it yesterday, like, my man didn't make it 20 minutes in the suspension, right? So it's like, dude, all it takes is one thing in the next year to where they can easily say, all right, you're done forever.
Yeah.
Like, it only takes one thing, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like how he tweeted, I bet $1,500 that, and I don't have a gambling problem. And Faux Polini retweeted and wrote, I'll take that bet.
I'll take that bet.
Like this is where kids, when you're in school, understand that commas and punctuation
Matter.
can help you greatly.
Right.
Use a comma there.
Allan Bell, at Allan Bell 24/7, if you have any questions about specific games and things like that, you can hit him up there. We're talking big picture items with him today. But do you have any games tonight? Any college basketball games that you love? Any NHL games you love?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take the under in the Preds game, 5.5. I think Saros has a masterful game tonight. I'm going to go Kevin Durant over 29.5 points because they're fighting playoffs. It's almost that time in the NBA. And I think my man KD is going to go off tonight.
And you know what? I told Babs this, and she talked about how boring the NBA is. I was watching the game with Ramon this weekend.
I didn't say that.
You did, Babsy?
I just said they don't play defense, and it annoys me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I misspoke for Babs. I'm
mischaracterized
sorry.
her.
I should have used the comma there.
Newsflash, Slade. Defense ain't walking through that door.
So I'm watching the game with Ramon, and I'm telling him, we were watching the Lakers, I believe, and somebody else. And I'm telling him, dude, Lakers and Golden State. I'm telling him, dog, every single time after the All-Star break, this is when you need to start watching basketball. Because then you can start to the gamblers out there, this is exactly what you just said, AB. KD and them are in the playoff hunt, and he's about to play different.
Yep. The good teams are going to go after.
Yeah. Now, and you see what Cleveland is doing. Cleveland is falling off after the All-Star break because everybody done put their big boy pants on, and it's time to get to it. You know, them first round games didn't make it. Yeah.
No, you're 100% correct. Absolutely, man. This is the time to pay attention for sure.
Love it. Thank you, AB. Appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
AB, I'm on fire in hockey.
I love it. I'm following your pick.
Oh, boy, you got to check me out, AB. Check me out.
Allan Bell 24/7. 2 nights in a row.
Man, 2 nights in a row. We're going for a third one.
Let's get Buffalo and Mount Jewett in here real quick before the break. Buffalo what's
Trace.
up?
I'm trying to digest everything I just heard. Man, what an education. What you talking about? Hey, how does Wilson, with his $42 million in 2 years compared to Rodgers, how do they work that contract into the dirt, and how does he start over, or does he not get to? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's the.
I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. And honestly, that's where you just kind of have to be patient and see how these contracts get worked out. Because I think that's why Aaron Rodgers and Pat McAfee were like, "Hey, these numbers are not right. Maybe they are in totality, but." I mean, you don't see Aaron Rodgers on this list of top cap hit players because they'll be able to save money on the front end of that contract. Ultimately, they'll have to pay the piper, but, they'll be able to help themselves there. By the way, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, I just saw a story on E! Shailene Woodley and Aaron Rodgers' reunion reaches new heights during Florida getaway. Huh? Back on. Game on.
They hooked back up?
They're hooking. They were spotted walking side by side after getting off a jet in Palm Beach.
Really?
Well,
what did you talk about the bag?
maybe coming back.
They arrived with no
Chase it.
luggage, so it seemed like a quick stopover.
Yeah, that's the bag. You don't need luggage when you got the bag.
It's in a box.
Most definitely.
All right, more of your phone calls when we come back. Cousin Danny will lead us off when we return, and we've got we'll talk about college basketball. I love these mid-major teams getting these dance opportunities. And Georgia State basketball coach Rob Lanier will join us at 5:00. Georgia State beat Louisiana 80-71 to win the Sun Belt tournament yesterday. Rob Lanier, a former assistant for Rick Barnes, doing good things at Georgia State in downtown Atlanta. 615-737-1045.
What will not fall flat is Loan Pronto. They won't fall flat for you. They're going to help you your home value's up. You can use that money to pay off credit cards or remodel your house, or maybe do both. And Loan Pronto can help you do it. LoanPronto.com. They can convert your home equity into cash in as little as 2 weeks, by the way, with no cost to you, zero hassle. I know, because I did it. I went to loanpronto.com. I'm not big on having to pull paperwork and give you a bunch of stuff. And you know me, I just like simple, and Loan Pronto made it simple. Mike and Joan in Brentwood also called Loan Pronto, did a Loan Pronto zero-cost cash-out refi, got a check for $100,000, used half of it to pay off credit cards and a car loan, and then they used the other half to upgrade their master bathroom, locked in a new APR in the twos, lowered their total monthly bills by hundreds of dollars. You can do the same as Mike and Joan and Dawn. What are you waiting on? Call Loan Pronto. LoanPronto.com, 615-499-5780 is the number. Again, that's LoanPronto.com at 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply. Players Championship is back. It's back again. One of the best fields in golf. And now you can take a shot at the Island Green with FanDuel Sportsbook. That's who you need to do it with right now. If you're a new customer, here's what you can get. 30-1 odds on defending champ Justin Thomas, two-time major winner Colin Morikawa, or Olympic gold medalist Xander Schauffele. How about that? Get this. You get those odds for just those three guys to make the cut at the Players. If any of them make the actual cut at TPC Sawgrass, you win $150 on just a $5 bet. You can't beat that. Also, jump in on some other prop bets that they have going on for the Players Championship. A lot of fun, and there's no better time to get in on the action with FanDuel Sportsbook. Step up to the tee, take a swing at betting the Players Championship. Perfect timing, obviously, for hoops with it being March as well. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app with promo code DAWN, D-A-W-N. You get your 30-1 odds on JT, Colin, or Xander to make the cut at the Players. Again, that's promo code DAWN, so they know I sent you. It's FanDuel Sportsbook, official betting operator of the PGA Tour. You do have to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bet $5. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
Russell Wilson traded to the Denver Broncos. Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay. Devontae Adams franchised in Green Bay. And Harold Landry not franchised. A story from Tom Pelissero that they're working on a contract. They got to get it done by Monday, though, or he hits the open market. Which, if you're him, why don't you? Right?
True.
Get the fan dust out, right?
Got to get the fan dust out. Got to get the fan dust out.
See what's out there.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a big part of it. It's a big part of your future right here, man.
615-737-1045. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, producer Joe Hunk. Rob Lanier coming up at 5. It'll be an interesting conversation about getting your team ready for the NCAA tournament, especially in one-bid leagues, man.
Mm-hmm.
You finish third in the regular season, but if you get going late, that's
it.
I mean, it's a tournament sport.
That's it.
Especially in that one-bid league, man. There's so much pressure.
Yeah. Got to get that conference tournament.
I know. And they got it done. They won by 9.
We'll hit on that.
I mean, Chattanooga last night with the buzzer beater, if you didn't see it in overtime, they only scored like 16 points in the first half, but they got it going. And then guy from Furman in a tie game hits a layup with like 5 seconds left. They get the ball inbounds. Do you have the call of this? So visualize this if you haven't seen it. David Jean-Baptiste was 2 for 9 from 3 in this basketball game. He gets the ball. He's moving toward his left, rises up to shoot as he's floating to his left, shoots a jump shot with 3 players in front of him. Phenomenal shot. Listen to the call.
Bothwell drives all the way, and his layup is good. With 4.3 seconds left, David Jean-Baptiste drives, goes up, three-pointer on the way. Got it! He hit it! David Jean-Baptiste, 3 at the buzzer. Bucks win it.
It's nothing better.
Nothing.
Chattanooga Box Radio Network.
That's beautiful.
Ugh.
I mean, I'm a football guy, but this is my favorite time of year.
Just when it's time to rock.
Oh, it's so
Man, dreams are made, dreams are shattered by 1 second.
Cousin Danny in the borough next up. What up, Danny?
What up, guys? What up? So I really appreciate you playing that clip right before you let me come on there, because right in step with that, I'm going to do something incredible.
All right.
And I'm going to admit to you guys that I was wrong. I really thought about it long and hard last night. And even though I came on the air and I put my 2 cents in about Calvin Ridley, I really took it to heart last night and thought about the game that I love. And I think I might have been wrong yesterday. I can totally see, having listened to all of the analysis, especially AB this morning and on your show, said some really solid things. And I think that in my mind, I was thinking about the Calvin Ridley transgression as something that had happened and didn't really have an effect on anything, and it was done. And I think that that's where my mistake was, because it's not done. I didn't think about what happens if he drops a pass in the future. I didn't think about what happens if he fumbles the ball in the future. Didn't think about those things. So, as rare a thing as could be in this universe, it is happening. Cousin Danny of the Borough was wrong. And I'm here to correct the record.
Well, I mean, Danny, that's interesting
it takes
because
a big man to admit this.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
hey,
I think we can all see.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think we can all see everybody's points, like, because people want to say, well, it's just $1,500, but to me, like, it has to be a blanket rule. It doesn't matter how much the money was. It's that he bet on his own sport. And if you're running that sport, you cannot have any kind of impropriety thought out there with your fan bases. You just can't.
I did. I thought about it long and hard. I mean, everything you're saying is exactly right. It's a bigger deal than I took it to be on its face when the news was breaking. I think it was more of an emotional reaction because of my hatred for the league's front office.
Yeah.
And the way
I get that.
I get that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and we all need to watch what's going on in Miami, right? Because like if that is proven to be true, that owner needs to lose his team. So, yeah, I mean, same thing.
I said the same thing this morning on Twitter. Same thing in Cleveland. And real quick before I hop off, Slay, I loved your SEC team, the all-SEC team, and the best part about it is that you put Pippen on the second team, because I think his dad is the reason he's as popular as he is, not his talent level. Take that, Vandy.
Dang, Danny. I mean, he's a good player.
Now you play.
Oh, that's hating
Yeah,
on.
I take him on
That's
my-
hating on Pippen, not
Yeah,
Vandy.
yeah, exactly. I dogged him early. I'm not dogged him, but I
What
just didn't.
you say dogged him, but what was your gripe about him?
Being chosen to be preseason SEC Player of the Year and your team not expected to finish in even the middle part of the SEC standings, I just can't. I can't see that. And you coming off of 2-win season or whatever.
Well, and you're
it was.
right. He wasn't the SEC Player of the Year.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's going to be tough.
But he was one of 9 first-team All-SEC players.
Yeah, and that's even
I'm glad
tougher.
you're here because I gripe about that every year.
I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Because if that's the case, my sophomore year when I was chosen third team, I may have made the cut to be on second team or even first team. Never know. So, yeah. What you thinking about, Babs?
I think you're probably right.
Okay, thank you.
I think Little Ron could have made it. I think Miles could have made it. I think Drew Dog could have made it.
Yeah, like it's no man. You can't. That ain't it. That ain't it for me, man.
Oprah out here hanging.
Yeah, you get a first team. They get a first team. No, we straight. I'm straight.
All right, let's talk a little college basketball and the pressure that goes with coaching in a one-bid league. Georgia State basketball coach Rob Lanier will join us next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Insanely clean carpets. That's what we chat about during the break. We need insanely clean carpets in here. We need to call Zero Res. We need the Zero Res difference. Zero Res carpet and air duct cleaning. No one cleans like them. Only Zero Res cleans with powered water. There's no soap. There's no residue. There's no harsh chemicals. And because of that, it means a couple of things. Your carpet stays cleaner longer. Your surfaces dry twice as fast. Your carpet is safe. It's clean and safe for your family and your four-legged friends and your pets. And not only does Zero Res have the highest approval rating possible from the Carpet and Rug Institute, they also are rated the #1 cleaning system in the nation by an independent testing laboratory. So when they clean, there's nothing left behind. And now is a great time to jump in and get your carpets clean. You hear me talk about them all the time. And they run different promotions. Well, the March promotion is a pretty dang good one. 3 rooms of carpet clean plus a free hallway, $109. Call Zero Res. 15% off of air duct cleaning right now as well. Some restrictions may apply, but call them or go online, zeroresnashville.com to book your appointment. Zero Res, 615-535-9376. Tell them Dawn sent you for this 3 rooms of carpet and a free hallway for $109. 615-535-9376. zeroresnashville.com.
Good evening. I am Joe Honk, and the franchise tag deadline wrapped up at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and it did so without the Tennessee Titans putting that franchise tag on Harold Landry. Now, there were some teams that did use the franchise tag, like, say, the Green Bay Packers, to franchise tag a certain wide receiver that they were only going to keep if their quarterback came back. Well, Aaron Rodgers announced that he's coming back, and the Green Bay Packers put that franchise tag on Davante Adams, but that still wasn't the big news of the day, as the Broncos have traded for quarterback Russell Wilson with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, with this deal, the Seahawks will get quarterback Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant, defensive lineman Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick. And Russell Wilson's going to be bringing a 4th-round pick with him to Denver. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, producer Joe Hunk. Looks like the rain's coming back in.
Uh-oh, no.
Stay away, rain. We don't want none. We already bought some last week.
There are a couple different radar models for Friday into Saturday. Might indicate some snow on the ground. Right as the time changes, finally. Operation Daylight at the end of the day will commence this weekend. Such o'clocks, all that stuff. Big day in the NFL, obviously, with Russell Wilson being traded to the Denver Broncos. If you are just getting in the car, maybe you haven't heard, traded to the Denver Broncos with a 4th-round pick for 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, a 5th-rounder, quarterback Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant, defensive lineman Shelby Harris. If you're Russell Wilson, you got to feel good about that, right? Like, man, I'm worth all this.
Yeah, that boost of confidence. Man, he the truth out here.
I'm sure he needed it. It's funny that they're rivals, though. Like, Broncos-Seahawks goes way back.
Yeah, it does. Well,
so that's one of the deals. Aaron Rodgers will remain with the Packers. 4 years, $200 million is what Ian Rappaport said. Ooh-wee. McAfee and Rodgers say that's wrong. The numbers are wrong. So we'll see.
Okay, take your woo-wee back.
So we'll see how that all plays itself out.
Well, I bet it's not far off.
I bet it's not far off.
So
they just have to figure out how to make it work under the salary cap.
That's
and
right.
It's team friendly and all of that. And so that's probably why the numbers are different or skewed.
Man.
Right?
Highest. So he would be the highest paid football player ever.
That's right. Reset the market. So Davante Adams, the thought is there, even though they franchised him, that they may work out a deal where he gets close to $30 million per.
Dang.
And the thought is, I've read several reports that Green Bay may have to mushroom cloud that roster to make those 2 guys work.
And then what?
And then what? Hey, man, I'm going to roll out with these 2.
I mean, what if that doesn't work? Where are the other pieces?
It's not. I'm going to just jump out there on the ledge. They got to blow their team up, and they're the only 2 they got. And they just got to go pick people up off the practice squad, and man, it's over, man. Ooh. He ain't going to pay no line or nothing, no.
I don't know.
Won't need nothing.
A quarterback, though.
Devontae Hike it.
This is my team.
At least when Brett Favre left it, he left it with an AFC championship team, or at least contending team.
Some other news out there. Chargers signed wide receiver Mike Williams, 3 years, $60 million, 40 of which is guaranteed. Harold Landry, locally the big story, not franchised. Tom Pelissero is saying that they're working on a deal, but they've got to get it done by Monday or he hits the open market.
Just go to the 11th hour?
Probably. I mean, my guess is if you can hit the open hour, or excuse me, the open market, then hit the open market.
Yeah.
I mean, as we were talking about earlier, I mean, maybe you want to stay with your guys for a little less money. Plus, there's no income tax in Tennessee, and I get all those things. But wouldn't you want to see what's out there? If Spot Track is saying 3 for $68, that's a lot of money.
So what are the? I wonder what are the numbers saying about him though, as production wise.
We had 9 sacks 3 years ago, then 5 last year, or 2 years ago, then 12 last year. But I mean, to your point earlier, how much of that has to do with what's going on around him on that defense now?
Come on, man. So maybe all right. I could change my stance. Maybe he got to go clock in. Maybe he got to go clock in right now and get what he can get.
Chase the bag, as you said?
Maybe he got to. Because you can't produce without it. It's showing. 5, 9, 12. I mean, 9 was solid. What'd they do?
And you were talking about earlier, like, their comfort level with where you were was worth something to you. So,
but you didn't figure that out till after the fact.
Yeah,
I didn't figure that out until I messed up the year after.
And you didn't listen to the vets that told you that.
Yep. And I listened back to Ramon when he's talking to his guys in this chat that's played a long time in the NFL, and they always tell him, man, I do wish I would have been able to play for one franchise the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So people think about it, just don't think about it in that moment.
No.
But the ones that do take heed, I ain't heard about them. I rarely have I heard about a person saying, man, I wish I would have took the money.
Right.
Never hear about
ultimately, all things being equal, the Titans would love to have Harold Landry back. And ultimately, all things being equal, certainly the fans would. And ultimately, all things being equal, I'm sure Harold Landry would like to be back. But that's where the money gets in the way. And you just don't know what the motivation is there because, as we talked about earlier, these guys have limited opportunities to have negotiating power. And he has negotiating power right now.
Yeah.
And it's generational money.
Yep.
So ultimately, like, how much does love of Nashville play into it? How much does love of playing with your guys factor into it? But if you can keep all those guys together, I mean, Danico Autry and Big Jeff again, running them back, that's going to be better, right?
I think we had a long discussion
Bud
on this.
Dupree back will be better off second
He's
year
gonna
off
be healthier.
ACL.
Yep. We had a long discussion about this earlier in this show today, and in just thinking about it, I think at the end of the day, we're overthinking it. You know, like we're sitting here saying, well, why wouldn't you want to run it back and have a chance at winning a Super Bowl? Well, why, Nashville's such a great place. Oh, and there's no state income tax. Why wouldn't you want to stay here? I know I do. I play on the emotional side, wanting to win a championship.
Yeah. But the reality of the situation
I play way too much on that, and the reality of the situation is he's going to go after his money.
Most guys chase the bag.
Yeah.
And that's
And
fine.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, no.
Is that good?
It's a short career. It's a short lifespan in this sport, and you have to take care of yourself. You have to, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars, right? No, most people are not privy to the opportunity to make this kind of money.
What if you don't get what you asked for on the open market, and the Titans came at you with $14 million a year?
Well, then there you go.
You think you come back? If you turn me down and you go, I'm going out here on the open market, I ain't got $14 million for you when you come back.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I got 13.
It's a business.
Then we got to get into a business of it.
You definitely have to play it that way. But yeah, but if he's going to get 17 on the open market, then, that's where you definitely need somebody saying, here's what the tax ramifications are.
Right.
Like if you're looking at $17 million in LA, for example,
right,
$14 million in Nashville is worth more than that.
There you go.
Yep. Big time, because of cost of living, not just no state income, but cost of living in that place too.
Yep.
Is huge. So yeah, that plays into it. And to your point, also real quick, somebody will pay him more than that.
Somebody will,
because he can get to a quarterback, and that is just a you pay the premium.
Can he?
Well, he did 12 times last year.
With
people around him.
But there's going to be one coach that says there'll be more than that.
I believe it. I believe it.
Hey man, we can get.
I can't wait.
We can get more than that.
We can get the most out of that. We can get 15.
I don't disagree with you, but
$1 million per sack.
Those coaches out there are like, hey man, give me this 12-sack guy over here. We'll get more out of him than that.
Mm-hmm.
He's 25.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Let's talk a little college basketball. It is that time of year. Georgia State basketball coach Rob Lanier joins us. Coach, what's up? How are you?
Hey.
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
I'm sure you are. Big win last night, 80-71 to win the Sun Belt. And I'm just curious, what was the locker room like after that win, punching that ticket to the NCAA tournament?
We never got to the locker room. We never made it back there. We were on the court. You know, it's been a challenging year for us in a lot of ways. And we had a team that came back this year after losing in the championship. We had 5 seniors who all averaged double digits last year. We one of the top scoring teams in the league. So we came back with some expectations after losing in the championship. And we had some injuries. We had some COVID disruption, and we struggled at times throughout the year. And we fought our way back and stuck together, and all of that emotion came out on the court. And we were out there for a long time, and there was a lot of emotion, and the guys, it was a great display of emotion that was a great experience for me as a coach.
I know heading into the tournament, you talk about you guys dealing with injuries and COVID-19 outbreaks and then struggling when you were on the floor. But heading into the tournament, I know you had won, 9 of your last 10? Like, what was the switch? What was the flip for this group?
Well, it wasn't just one thing, but I think the big thing was that we stuck together. That those things that you alluded to didn't break us, and we didn't have much quit even on our darkest day. And so we knew we had a good team, and we felt like it was a matter of time. But there was one thing that stood out above all of that, is the fact that Kane Williams, our senior guard, he really stepped into that leadership role. Ron knows, in order to have a good team, you got to have leadership inside your locker room within your team. And we had guys capable of that, but, some guys didn't handle the adversity as well as others. But Kane brought us back together. He was that singular voice. Guys kind of followed his lead, and we got our footing and got a couple of wins and started to reassume the character that made us the team that came into the league, picked to win it in the preseason.
Coach, man, congratulations. You've been on every level, man, from Power 5 to mid-major. Tell me the difference that you see when you got this one bid league and it's really, when you're in the Power 5, you can struggle throughout the year. Let's try to get to the 4th position. We'll get noticed. We can get into the big dance. Compared to, you got to ramp it up and get hot in the conference tournament and win that to get the bid, regardless of pretty much what you did, unless maybe Murray State would have showed us what would have happened if they lost the conference tournament to Moorhead, and maybe we would have seen something shaking up. But tell me about, the differences in that.
Well, we've talked about it as a staff here, and I talked about it with my team today. What happens is at the mid-major level, that emotion that you have. I was on the phone with Desmond Oliver today, and we were talking about 2018. We had a share of the SEC title, and for 45 minutes after the game in Thompson-Boling, the fans stayed in arena. It was one of the best experiences I've had as a coach. If you ask me that, I would say it was the best until tonight.
Yeah.
The outpouring of emotion, because and I think it's one of the challenges that mid-major teams have when they get to the big dance, is that sometimes they treat this moment like it is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And they don't go into the big dance expecting to win. The flip side is the teams that do go in expecting to win have at least a 3-game winning streak underneath them.
Yeah.
And like you're saying there, Ron, a lot of high major programs or power conference programs, they could lose their last 3, and depending on how they're positioned in their conference, they still get the at-large bid, but they're not playing particularly well.
Yeah.
So that's why there's so many great things happen in the tournament, and so many underdog teams win games, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Rob Lanier, Georgia State basketball coach, with us, and Coach mentioned Tennessee was an assistant for Rick Barnes there. Coach, how challenging is it to, staying on this one bid league path, how challenging is it for you guys as a coaching staff to help your kids deal with the pressure that goes with playing in these conference tournament games where they know if they lose, they're done?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's competition. It's an opportunity. And so we don't look at it as pressure. You just look at it as an opportunity. If you lose, you're obviously going to be disappointed. But you got an opportunity to win, too. And so we look at it from that vantage point, like it's an opportunity. Let's do what we practice. And if you got the players, you just try to chase that opportunity. And it's special when you get it. It's disappointing when you don't. But it's what's made March so special. And so it was our time yesterday, and it's a great time.
How good do you feel about this group? I mean, you guys, for those that don't know, you guys have won 10 games in a row.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's times where I wanted to strangle them.
Life of a coach.
And, that's right. And they know I love them.
Yeah.
And I tell them I love them all the time, as a group and to the individuals. And I think that's, for me at my age in this, that's what it's got to be about. I want to be around people that I can truly care about and that I have something in common with, and then we try to do something together.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of group that we have. And so I do want to strangle them sometimes, but you go through that with people that you love.
Yeah.
And that outpouring, the Sun Belt Conference did a great thing. They put out a video right away, and man, I must have watched that thing 100 times already. Because in the moment, I'm not the most emotional guy, so things kind of slow down for me, and I wind up observing what's going on. And I was just seeing the way our guys were, even the guys that didn't play, just the outpouring was just so special to see. And they're just really proud of this group, and I'm really grateful that I've had the opportunity to coach them.
Coach, man, to the people that don't know, I had an opportunity to get to know you and your family, man. Now, I know the job you do as a coach. You're even, to me, better as a father, but you got to take your coach hat off, man. He's got a son up there in Davidson. How much you going to get to chill for Emory and those guys at Davidson to handle business?
Oh, man, I watch those guys. I got so much admiration for their coaching staff and Bob McKillop. Yeah. If you follow college basketball, he's a special coach. And they have a unique program. It's a high academic school, great town, great area to live, and just a unique scenario. And they got a great team. They're really fun to watch. And he's having a tremendous experience as a young person. So I really given up on coaching him. I cut that loose when he was in middle school, and I'm so thankful that I've done that. I know he is too.
Yeah.
But he's with great coaches, so he don't need me to coach him. And it's really strengthened our relationship. And what a fun team to watch. Atlantic 10 champions, and I couldn't be more happy that he's having that experience.
Coach, how are you going to consume with your team the selection show? How are you guys going to deal with that?
Yeah, we'll do it on campus. We got a nice space, and we'll try to keep it as intimate as possible to have our players and their loved ones be a part of it. Obviously, our staff and our families, and our administration, and and then some key people who are important to the program, and we'll have dinner together. We'll invite people to practice on Sunday, so they can watch us practice, and then we'll have dinner leading up to the selection show, and then we'll turn it on. We will find out who we play, and then we'll set out to try to beat somebody.
I love it, man. Good to hear from you, Coach Lanier. Good luck, and we'll be following you guys.
Appreciate it, baby.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Ron.
Man, my man.
All right, Rob Lanier.
Yeah, good dude right there, man.
He is. So tight end is certainly a position of need. Don sent a list of 20 dudes, 15 guys. I went through all of them.
I said, you interested in any of these guys?
And
it is
look,
not
no.
I know. At first look, you're like, God, these guys are old.
It's like Major League. Who are these? No.
Yeah.
You know who they are, but they're old.
This guy's dead.
This guy's We'll cross him off then.
Yeah. So we'll walk you through that when we come back. Take more of your phone calls, 615-737-1045.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Thinking you need a big down payment to buy a house? Well, you don't. So stop searching for the money. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we can get you in the home of your dreams with no money down. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
What up, people? Still, I got wings. That's the place you need to get to for delicious chicken lunch combos. Game day greatness. That's it. 2521 Nolensville Pike, right off 440, or at 123 Ewing Drive in the original Princess location. You know it's serious when I'm coming at you with some food, people. I don't miss with wings. I don't miss with basketball. And now I don't miss with hockey. And the mayor just almost stumbled. But he can be set straight. If he get him some steak-out wings, he won't fall out either. You can too. Your lunch game day destination is where it needs to be. All TVs will be on the games. March Madness has arrived. You don't want to miss it. Fall off in there. 69-cent wings on Tuesday. Guess what today is? Tuesday. Okay. Go in there and get you some 69-cent wings, people. And the tenders, catfish, shrimp, fried pickles, all of it's phenomenal. Cheese sticks and more. Get you some Kool-Aid. That's what I always wash it down with. You can't go wrong if you go in the building and let them know. I'm in the building. It's still I got wings.
More quarterback news. What's happening now? 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Charles Robinson with this. Quick note on a quarterback not named Wilson or Rodgers.
Okay.
Russell Wilson traded to the Denver Broncos today. Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay. Harold Landry not franchised. I feel like I need to say those three things a lot.
Right.
You do.
In case you missed it.
Yeah, Charles Robinson saying, quick note on a quarterback not named Wilson or Rodgers. Spoke to a team in the thick of it for a competitive backup quarterback in free agency, and they have a strong belief that Mitchell Trubisky is going to end up with the New York Giants, compete with Daniel Jones for the starting job.
Y'all can have him.
I'm not a Trubisky guy. I never was.
Man, either. Not at all. And I mean it.
Not a Sam Howell guy either.
What about
Not a Daniel Jones guy either.
what about Carson Strong? What about Kenny Pickett? What about Malik Willis? Desmond Ridder? What pick do the Seahawks have?
9.
Now they gotta go get them a quarterback. That's for sure. Who do they go get to anchor the future?
I don't know, but remember the fascination people have with Mitchell Trubisky in his draft class?
What
Patrick Mahomes went in
Carolina?
that same
Carolina?
class. Yeah, North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, now here comes Sam Howell.
Dawn's beloved Tar Heels.
She loves them.
She's literally wearing Duke blue today.
I am.
Shout out to Coach
Getting ready
K.
for March.
Shout out to Coach K, Babs.
Man, I went looking for tight ends because the Titans need them. What do they got? Tommy Thompson? Is that who they have over there?
Who was that?
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
I think he's a character in a Tim McGraw song.
Sound about right.
So Babs said a list of tight ends that are available.
Mm-hmm.
And the most impressive guy to me on this list, not that, you want to go down this path. I'm just saying impressive guy and career.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Cook is 34 years old. In year number 13 last year, he caught 48 balls for 564 yards and 4 touchdowns. That guy's still going.
Cookie.
I used to do shows with him at Cross Corner Bar and Grill over in Brentwood, and that feels like it was 55 years ago. Mm-hmm. My man Cook. And it was him and Sinderic Marks that were like the guys that would show up. And so I got to the point where I would just text them and they would come do it.
Yeah.
Sinderic Marks, isn't he the one that took out the insurance policy on himself?
No, that was Chance Warmack.
Oh, that was Chance Warmack.
No, Sinderic Marks might
was
be
the
the
Auburn guy.
biggest personality
He was awesome.
I've ever met.
Do you remember when he picked up golf?
Yes.
He's a
played golf
big
with him.
dude.
Golfer?
He started golf after he joined the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
And
His swing was ridiculous, but he could hit the ball.
But he could hit the ball. Yeah.
That's what it's about.
And he was obsessed.
So
With
Like, yes, he fell in love with it.
Friend of
You know
mine
why?
said-
Because it's a challenge.
Yep, I feel him.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine said they don't put a video of your swing on your scorecard.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, can you strike that
Charles.
ball? That's what I'm looking for.
So Sinderic Marks, this is the best Sinderic Marks story. So he had a sack incentive where I forget what the number was, that if he hit it, he got $1 million. $1 million extra dollars. And so they were playing the Titans in the last game of the season. And on the last play of the game, he got a sack. And he got up and did his fingers like money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I remember
real.
that.
Real. Last
That's how
play
you
of the
get it.
season.
Man, I know he went all out. He was probably praying when he was down in the stands and everything, like, please, just let me get to this quarterback. I would have told the quarterback, hey, listen, I got about 20,000.
Like Favre and Strahan.
Yeah, like Calvin Ridley.
It's
It's like betting on it.
Got an 18 parlay for you.
There you go.
By the way, did you work out your hockey parlay for today? Your two days in
Yeah,
a row?
man.
You've been on a roll.
I've been on
Not
a Rizzo.
to jinx it, but
No, you can't jinx what's good.
okay.
Sorry, Babs. Give me a second. I'll hit us in the 45.
Okay. It's coming up. I got one too.
Hey, I want to hear yours.
Mine is Detroit, Minnesota, and Nashville, all money line.
See, you only went 3.
Yeah.
All right, hit some of those tight ends. We talked about Cookie.
Oh, yeah. Let me mark him off because there's a lot, so I don't want to overcook it.
Overcook it.
Yeah.
Cookie.
That pun was not fully intended.
I
but it
remember
was.
when Cookie left the Titans.
Felt like he was old then.
And you felt like he was done then. I mean, that's kind of why they let him go.
He played 4 seasons for the Titans, didn't get that second contract.
Right.
And there you go. Jimmy Graham, 12 seasons. He's out there. Mark him off. Kyle Rudolph, 11 seasons. He's out there. Mark him off. I'm going with the older guys first.
Okay.
Zach Ertz, he's only 31, but he's had 10 seasons. He missed 21 games in the last 3 seasons. Mark him off. Gronkowski is only going to play with Tom Brady's. Maybe TB12 is the Titans quarterback on opening day.
Don't even joke. People are going to start tweeting it.
I'm just kidding. Ryan Tannehill's the quarterback. You can mark Rob Gronkowski off. He'll go wherever TB12 goes. San Francisco, wherever that
is he playing without TB12?
I doubt it. Do you?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think he might be okay with being back.
I think Gronkowski's
I
ready
think
to
he
party.
playing. You ready to party?
But he already
he stopped.
Doesn't he do like cruise parties and stuff like that? Him and his brother,
they have a whole Gronk family
to get on,
cruise that you can purchase tickets and go on.
Can you imagine?
I mean, it's like instead of a show on a Tuesday night, you have the Gronk family playing charades or something.
I would
on
love
the
to see
stage.
Gronk and his family try to keep up with Slay.
Yeah. we need a Slay family cruise too.
Ooh, it'll be wild. We'll give Gronk and them a run for their money.
I just think Gronk's ready to unleash himself on the world and just have no responsibilities here whatsoever.
Yeah.
You think it's done? Him coming back, getting 2 years in, enough is enough.
He was just really banged up last year.
He's always
he's
banged
been
up.
really banged up for
all the time.
Mm-hmm. 5
Misses
years.
games all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where does that leave us? CJ Uzuma with the Bengals. He's the one that was talking all that trash against the Titans. That's your Auburn guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 29. Caught 49 balls last year, 5 touchdowns.
I actually like him.
I was gonna say it's not a terrible.
I do too.
It's not a terrible choice.
I do too. Eric Ebron, who feels like he's 50 years old, but he's only 28.
Darn. Seems like he has been in the league
8 seasons. He only played 8 games last year.
I was gonna say I feel like he has been a little bit of a disappointment.
I'm just marking dudes off is what I'm doing.
Look like we ain't gonna have nobody in a minute.
Well, we'll get there. Hayden Hurst, who I thought was going to be a really good tight end coming out of South Carolina, he's just been okay.
Solid.
28 years old, caught 26 balls last year, but only 221. So he's running 6 yards turnaround there. Here's second
fall
down.
Yeah.
I mean,
a possession tight end. That ain't bad, huh? We already go.
I'd be able to help out your boy Tannehill.
We already go 3 yards in the cloud of dust anyway, huh? Till Henry break one.
Or pick.
If he goes over the middle, do you see him to throw to him? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not if it's long distance.
O.J. Howard's an interesting guy because I always thought that he should be a really good NFL tight end. It just really hasn't
Injuries
happened.
done killed him.
Everybody thought he was supposed to be a really good tight
injuries
end.
injuries
He's supposed to be a
knocked him
great
out.
college tight end.
Freak athlete.
Injuries knocked him out the box.
Out of Alabama, 27 years old, 14 for 135 and a touchdown last year. Let's see. Where am I? 27-year-olds? Evan Ingram caught 73 balls last year. He's only 27. 408 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's played 5 seasons. I'll mark him as still on the list. How about that?
We got 2.
Is that good?
We've got 2 guys.
Who's the other one?
Did you say CJ Uzama?
Oh, yeah.
Uzama, yeah.
Yep, that's right. Rob Tonyan, 27 years old. He only played 8 games last year. I'm going to mark him.
Slay
ain't got a chance.
Slay is not sold.
No, we ain't got a chance.
Gerald Everett, 27 years old, caught 48 balls, 478 yards, and 4 touchdowns last year. I'll keep him on the list.
That's solid.
So that's 3.
He was with Seattle last year, right? I believe.
As far as you know.
I really that was the only team I could think of that he was on.
I actually thought he was a baseball player for the Braves back in the day.
He would sound like
that's Gerald Williams.
Let's see. The last one, and Mickey Ryan's been talking about this guy, and I like this guy. This is probably the guy I like the most. Tyler Conklin, 26 years old. He's played 4 seasons. He's on the Vikings. 61 receptions last year, 593 yards and 3 touchdowns, and can block. There you go.
And can block.
Tyler Conklin. We just solved the problem.
About Ferguson.
At least I did. See it.
You know what
I thought he was going to have a year.
It's a pretty strong draft class, right?
They did say that.
That's true.
Yep.
Put a young buck out there.
Well, it can be worse.
Not that that's worked at that position, but
it cannot be worse.
Well, there's a good example. Jonnu Smith went for the money, and then New England brought in other tight ends, and he didn't have the production this year. Cost him down the road.
Hey, you
Corey
spot
Davis
on.
Too, right?
Corey Davis got hurt. Yep. Why would you go to the Jets?
And see that
money.
Them the people that got money to offer you. Them type of teams right there. That's it.
It's Parsley coming up. You're going to want it. It's hockey. This is a hockey. This is the biggest sports betting hockey expert in Nashville. Ron Slade next on 104.5%.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Banks are great for car loans, but when you need a home loan, you need an expert. We'll get you
Buddy Allen Carpet One, if you're thinking about that flooring project, these are your guys. Locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen are in the store every day, and they are phenomenal people, by the way. Love those guys. And you can check them out in their showroom in Donaldson, 2405 Lebanon Pike, 615-883-3289. BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
What up, people? Me, Ron Slade. Listen, I'm telling you right now, man, y'all already heard me talking about it earlier, but I'm back again, just like the Wings are. Still like out Wings. That's right. Yep, I put a little harmonization in there for you people. You got to love it. You got to love it. 2521 Nolensville Pike or 123 Ewing Drive is where you got to go. And let me explain something to you. I've been summoned and told to tell you this. Man, when you order strikeout wings, don't be calling there getting no big old order, man, and not going to pick it up. Now, that just ain't good business, man. See, then you going to hurt all the people that want to call in to get some of that good sweet and sassy and lemon pepper mix, the big Slate mix, and can't get it because they don't trust you going to come pick it up. Come on, man, do the right thing, man. Cajun ranch fries with the cheese on top. Yeah, that part too. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you get a little Kool-Aid. They even sell the Kool-Aid in jugs now, so you can get a nice little gallon of Kool-Aid. Yep, or the Kool-Aid reader if you're staying in there for a minute. Get you a little shot of that. Some good stuff. But main thing, go get some of them wings, and it's Tuesday. 69-cent wings, people. Still, I got wings.
Crazy day. I mean, one after the other. Tomorrow the SEC tournament starts.
Oh, yeah.
Ole Miss a 3-point favorite over Missouri. I love that. I hate that the tournament is not in Nashville, obviously. But with it being Eastern time zone, get the earlier start times. So 5 o'clock on the Ole Miss Missouri game. Vanderbilt will play Georgia at 7:30. Vanderbilt is a 9-point favorite against Georgia. By the way, Georgia announced that, or somebody reported that they will be parting ways with their coach.
Yes.
Tom Crean.
I mean, that's not a surprise. It's basically free for them to part from him.
1-17.
Not
in the
free,
SEC.
by the way. I'm being. It's
How many
cheap
years was he with
considering.
them?
What are you talking about over there?
What? How long? Talking about the buyout for Crean is like nothing.
Yeah, they were 6-25 this year.
Goodness gracious. They had a lot of transfers.
When was he hired?
I want to say 3 years ago.
2018.
That's about right.
Yeah.
21, 20, 19.
Why can Georgia not be a consistent front runner in SEC basketball with Atlanta right there?
And there's so much talent in that city.
Much talent. You don't even have to get the best talent.
No, you don't. I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
That was Crean's thing too. Was that he's a great recruiter, right?
Yep.
They've
Supposed to be able
lost.
to go get them.
They've lost 11 in a row. Does that news getting out that obviously we all knew that Tom Crean was not going to make it at Georgia, but the news getting out, does that help or hurt Georgia against Vanderbilt?
Both, but we'll never know because we ain't in the locker room.
Right. So it comes down to, do they really want to fight?
They want to fight for him?
And it's a team that has fought down the stretch, even though they've been losing.
It has. And he's been looking like he's all in with them. But I will say, if they were going against an opponent that at some point you think wasn't really playing for nothing, I think they would have an opportunity. But Vanderbilt, I think Vandy want to get in this NIT.
Vandy's got a chance to make a run. They win, they get Alabama, which is, I mean, Bama will be favored by 4 or 5, something like that.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit more than that.
Probably a little bit more. Yeah, man.
But it's a game that Vanderbilt could certainly be in.
Yep.
And then if they win that, they get Kentucky. But if they win that, then they're 2 games over 500, which means they could absorb a loss, still be over 500. Doesn't mean you automatically get in the NIT, but I would think that a team coming out of the SEC might get preferential treatment.
They'll be fine.
So we'll see what happens. Do you have something to say about a golf tournament we have coming up?
Who, me?
No,
either one of
I
you.
was supposed to talk about it, and I said I'm not talking about it again.
That's
I
right.
already talked about it once.
Yeah, we ain't doing it 2 times.
Why do I have to talk about it again?
Man, get into the tournament. It's 2 flights, 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. or something
Because
like
I
that.
asked nicely off the air.
Oh.
2 flights.
I saw y'all yelling
I
at
said
each
2
other.
plight.
I didn't
It is
know what it was about.
104.5. Well, that too. You might have a plight of a day, a plight of a round. 104.5 The Zone Spring Golf Classic. This is what we're talking about. It's Monday, April 25th. And the reason Honk wants me to talk about it today is because that you can buy your early bird tickets, and it's only now through Sunday, and that can save you over $100 on your golf team for our 104.5 The Zone Spring Golf Classic at Old Natchez Country Club. So if you buy a foursome right now early, then you save $100, and you can use it for your parsley that you're about to place.
I was great job.
You know what sucks
You
about
like that?
I was
1045thezone.com, by the way. Just go there.
I was going to bet Clemson -5, but they had already started the game when I started in on it, and so I didn't bet it. And they won by 6. I would have won.
You would have won. Well, guess what?
Slow on the trigger.
Listen to this parlay, and you can go win right now.
Okay.
You got a 3-team parlay. Hockey, yeah.
All hockey.
All hockey.
Okay.
I love your love with hockey.
You like
your
that?
love affair with hockey.
Take the Detroit Red Wings money line. Minnesota Wild money line. The Preds under 5.5. The Penguins +1.5. Calgary Flames money line.
Calgary.
Calgary.
That's what they call it up there.
Calgary?
Yeah.
Calgary Flames. I'm going to tell you what, but the Calgary Flames have been winning for me. I don't know about that other team, but you can 3-team parlay that or 5-team parlay that. And if you're feeling lucky, like you were last night, get your little 2-team parlay in there. Parlay, I mean. St. Mary's +12.5. They're playing Gonzaga. You would have won with that against San Francisco last night.
You're going St. Mary's?
I'm going St. Mary's plus 12.5.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, against Gonzaga. And
Number 17,
South Dakota State versus North Dakota State. I'm going South Dakota State, Jackrabbits, money line. There you go. Parsley hit.
There's a lot of parlays going on tonight.
And guess what? Listen. Hey. I cut the music on me.
$30 last night hit me for $155 or something.
Dude, Florida, I ain't even going to run through it. Just trust me. Just got to trust me, man. Trust me.
Can you run it tomorrow?
What?
What are you talking about? You say you're not.
Oh, y'all was going to tell them how I won the last 2 days. But, hey. It's better talking about it last 3 days tomorrow than 2 days today.
Coming up tomorrow, we've got Coach Mack, we've got Todd Furman, and we've got Billy Corgan, who is the front man for Smashing Pumpkins.
That's fun.
He's into wrestling now, owner and promoter for NWA, which is, I used to watch that when I got home from school back in the day. It was a different deal.
The Crockett
Straight
Cup,
out of Compton.
Crazy mother grabber named Corgan.
Guys, totally different NWA.
Okay.
Totally different.
This is what came to
Tomorrow
mind.
on the show, Easy E.
That's what comes to mind, too.
I'm just saying.
With a Ouija board.
I'm going to go find some anointing oil. Dave asked me in the hallway, did you get anointing yet? I got to find the oil.
It's not the word.
Anointing oil.
Word.
Sorry.
Anointing oil. This is where we are. All right. After party coming up. Love y'all. Be good.
Blame Babs,
Check
y'all.
you tomorrow.
See ya.
Blame Babs, y'all. That's a good t-shirt.